Fam, what's up? It's Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. What's going on? I got the full screen look. We'll get the banner up in just a second. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Appreciate you being here, and appreciate you guys hitting the thumbs up, like us, and subscribing today on Feel Good Friday, February 23rd. What's going on? Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Huge loss for the NCAA. I mean, this is unbelievable what's going on. I mean, a judge has granted an injunction in Tennessee versus the NCAA, and federal court basically freezes NIL rules. Now you can basically contact, certain players. Boosters can. I don't know if that is going to happen in terms of like dead periods, but this is unbelievable. And I think that it's only going to continue to get worse probably before it gets better. You also saw that the NCAA moved up, early signing to like right around December 4th. Well, how is that any better? Like, don't you have like conference championship games to prepare for? Can you imagine? And that's what I always thought that was really difficult for coaches. What's up? And I see you guys inside the comment box. Thank you very much for being here right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Is the fact that you have to prep for conference championship games and then also prepare for the early signing period, like moving it up a couple weeks. Why not just move it back to where it was? I don't know. Like the calendar, like Coach Saban said, basically got pushed up an entire 6 months. So it was a huge loss for NCAA, and I don't know what's going to happen with this case. I mean, this is really a landmark case, and this is all fluid, but basically a judge has granted an injunction in Tennessee versus the NCAA, and a federal court freezes all NIL deals. So, I mean, basically you can start, poaching players if you wanted to. You can start talking to them. You can talk to them about NIL deals. I don't know. I mean, this is crazy. And this is, you're absolutely right. It's like, why does the NCAA even exist? I don't know. Like, what's going on here? I think I saw an article today about someone asked Coach Saban if he'd be interested in being like a college football commissioner. And I've been saying this, like, go back and watch some of my videos from like years ago. I already felt like he was kind of the college football commissioner because every single thing that he says echoes through college football. Like, there was no other coach that ESPN put up more on the screen than Nick Saban. Number one, because his voice carries a lot of weight. He's reasonable. He has good ideas. He's built a program that has won NCAA championships. He's put so many guys in the NFL. So what's up, Cody White? I see you inside the comment box. What's up, C-Bama? Thanks for being here. Hacker Music and ID Max 3D. What's up? Appreciate you guys joining us right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Leading off the show early before Coach Sean and Coach Jarrett come in, kind of hitting on a couple points before I turn the keys over to them, kind of warming up the show. Now, I appreciate you guys being here. So hit the thumbs up. I appreciate you guys being here and being part of Bama Football on YouTube. I don't know what's going to happen in terms of, the NCAA and the guidelines, but I'm ready to kind of, number one, I selfishly, I hope it like none of this impacts NCAA football, like the video game, because everyone keeps talking about this video game. Even saw Reese Davis talking about some of the behind the scenes stuff that he's been doing for the actual game, which I'm really excited about. I don't know. It's completely broken. Only Coach Saban himself or someone of that stature could probably, put college football back where it needs to be. But the calendars are messed up. Coaches are leaving. I saw that Georgia just lost their football coach or their running back coach. He's going to Georgia Southern. So a lot of moving parts. It's all broken. So appreciate you guys being here and rocking with me today on Friday, February 23rd. T, we have T in the house. T, what's up?
Hello, Undefeated. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, T. T, do we have the graphic of, do we put it in overlays?
Yeah.
All right.
The merch?
Yeah, I can go ahead and show everyone. Oh, yeah, I don't see it. Oh, there we go. Okay. So a lot of our fan funders on Bama Football on YouTube, they are the Undefeated. And a lot of them have been sending in pictures of them in merch gear. Which has been really cool. And how do you become a fan from number one? Tell them, T.
So you can hit the link that's pinned at the top of the chat box, and that will take you to the Fan Funder page, or it is at the homepage, Kyle's homepage. You can hit that link there as well.
Yeah, and
I'll pin it again in the
yeah,
comments.
and
if you
we'll
guys
pin
don't
it in
see
the comment box as well. $2.99 for the entire month. That's only 10 cents today. We appreciate you guys. And if you guys want gear, if you're interested in the gear we have, hit any of the links below. It'd be cool, to see people in the gear for A-Day. I know we're fired up about that. But here, look at, we have this is the gear that's available for purchase. And here's some of our fan funders just like you that are already rocking the gear. So I love the hoodie. I have the hoodie and I have the hat. I have kind of the flat bill hat, and yeah.
I have a hoodie too. They're great.
Yeah. We need to start. And I have the hat.
I can run downstairs and grab it.
Yeah, it's all good.
And there's tons of different colors on the store. If you go there, you can cruise around and play with the different colors. There's tons of other styles. Obviously, there wasn't enough room to fit everything on here. But I will pin the link for the store in the comments as well. Sorry, there's something.
I even like that hat on the top right. You see that hat on the? Yeah. I need to get that one. Full screen again. Yeah, I thought we got that one, but
is this live? That's right.
Okay. Anyways, it's all good. So kind of opening up the show with a huge loss for the NCAA. No surprise. I mean. Yeah, I guess you could just start, talking with, players in Tennessee or wherever. I mean, this is crazy what's going to happen. Just wait. I keep telling you, this is the most interesting and exciting college football season ever. And Coach Saban's going to be a part of ESPN, kind of walking us all through. Adam, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box, man. The gear is great. Where do you buy it? So underneath these videos, you'll see links to the storefront. You can click on those links and they'll take you there to buy the gear.
I just posted the link in the comment box as well.
Okay, cool. Thank you, T. All right. Courtney Morgan officially hired. We knew that he was going to be hired, or that, he was already hired, kind of as the general manager at the University of Alabama. This is huge for many different reasons. I think when you look to this general manager position, it's great because you have, someone who has great ties in terms of a personnel standpoint that can come in and work with the players, work to get new players. And I think, honestly, he probably had a role in landing Keon Saab. I think that, they had a relationship prior to that. But anyways, the University of Alabama released this today. And Courtney Morgan, a huge personality, players love him and does a really great job in the previous stops that he's been at. So I think this is a huge addition to Alabama football, to be honest, this general manager position. And here's a quote. "I love working for Coach Kalen DeBoer, and I'm looking forward to continuing the standard that Alabama football has set," Morgan said. And that's something that Shepard has said, and the same thing with Nick Sheridan. Everyone on the staff has the same common goal. And we believe in Coach Kalen DeBoer's process and what it takes to win. Trust and work are such an important part of success, and I'm always ready to go to work, and I completely trust Kalen DeBoer's approach to building a program. In case you missed any of these other quotes as well, there's been some really good stuff. I mean, here's Nick Sheridan's quote as well, just officially hired a couple days ago as the offensive coordinator here at Alabama, coming from Washington as a tight ends coach. "It's a tremendous opportunity to coach Kalen DeBoer at Alabama," Sheridan said. "I look forward to working with this offensive staff to develop a plan each week to put our team in a position to be successful. There is an unmatched legacy at Alabama, and I understand the importance of upholding the standard while developing our players." A couple days ago, Jamarcus Shepard, who will be the assistant head coach, co-offensive coordinator, and wide receivers coach, had this to say: "I have a passion for coaching and developing our football players both on and off the field." Shepard said, "The chance to help Coach Kalen DeBoer continue the standard at Alabama is something I take a lot of pride in and accomplish. This is a special place, and I'm excited about the opportunities that are in front of us." So I love those quotes. Really impactful, I think, when these younger guys are getting to Alabama. And I think one of the common themes that I have seen within these coaches' quotes, I mean, look, Shepard's a young guy. Nick Sheridan's a young guy. Courtney Morgan's a young guy, right? And they've all said that they understand their place here at Alabama. I like that. Even Coach Kalen DeBoer said that. He understands the magnitude of this job. And it's a huge jump for pretty much everybody, especially following Coach Saban. So understanding where you're at and having kind of that emotional awareness, I think is very, very important. And I think these guys are going to flourish. And most importantly, I think they're just really excited to be here, to be honest. What's up, Undefeated? I see you inside the comment box. Caitlin, what's going on? Patriot Life. Adam, and all our fan funders inside the comment box. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you guys more than you know. So we hit on the huge loss for NCAA. Courtney Morgan officially hired. So we just published a video early for fan funders only. And that is Coach Sean and Coach Jarek. And the video will be available tomorrow morning, but you're getting a sneak peek. So if you are a fan funder, you get to watch that video right now or later on tonight after we're done, with our lives. But it's a special teams preview. And leading up to the first Alabama football practice, which will be on March 4th, we are previewing every single position with the coaches, and we're doing tandem. So Coach Jarek and Coach Sean are talking about the special teams. And then you have on Sunday, you have Ty Hayes and Jake Merrill talking about the offensive line. Coach Smook and I are on Monday talking about the quarterbacks, and we're kind of mixing and matching. But the preview for the special teams is really exciting. I think the biggest question mark is who is going to replace Will Riker. Clearly, we all know that, right? Anytime you have the career leader in NCAA, and you have to replace him, that's a tall task. Think about all the tall tasks you have to replace this coming season. One of them is certainly who's going to replace Will Riker. Pictured on the screen right here, this is Connor Talty, who's a redshirt freshman at the University of Alabama, who will serve as kickoffs and for field goals for the Alabama Crimson Tide. But I think when you look to the special teams, one of the key components, and I think this is probably one of the biggest things about Alabama's team, even returning to this year, is the fact that James Burnap returns as the team's punter. This guy was fantastic last year. I think he's super underrated. Honestly, I feel that he's the best punter in college football returning. I really do. I really feel strongly about that, and I think he's only going to get better. So Coach Sean and Coach Jarek are talking about the special teams. They also hit on who would make sense in terms of a kick returner, punt returner, and a couple other things. Look, special teams is a critical point of the game. Sometimes we just talk about offense, defense, Jimmys and Joes, X's and O's, but like you don't have a good special teams, you don't have a good kicker, live with that. You can't. You'll be pissed off all year. Imagine not having a good punter, right? Alabama has been loaded. Really, I mean, J.K. Scott was fantastic. James Burnap is really, really good. Will Riker was the GOAT because there was a long time that Alabama didn't have a good kicker. I mean, honestly, I'm used to Will Riker because he was here for 5 seasons. But previous to that, I know that Alabama struggled in the kicking game. Right, that was kind of the one area. If Alabama was A+ across the board, their special teams game, specifically their kicker, was always maybe a B, C+. So James Burnap coming back is huge. Wanted to also point out in just a few minutes, we'll have Coach Sean rolling through. And you had the Tiffins, right? But Nate Oates up for Coach of the Year. I mean, honestly, it's amazing to see what Coach Nate Oates has done. You look at the statistics. Nate Oates has been here since 2019. Okay, first season here, 16-15. Stay with me, okay? Came from Buffalo. Where at Buffalo, he took Buffalo to the NCAA basketball tournament 3 times in 4 years. So his first year, he's 16-15, 8-10 in conference play. The following year, in 2020 and 2021, they go 26-7, 16-2, and they finish first. Okay, they make it to the Sweet 16. In 2021 and 2022, they go 19-14, 9-9, and finish out 5th. Okay, round of 64. Okay, last year, 2022 and 2023, they finished the year 31-6. They were ranked number 1 on the season, 16-2 in conference play, finished out first, and reached the Sweet 16. This season, Alabama is 19-7, 11-2 in SEC play. Okay, where will they finish? I don't know. Looks like they're going to finish number 1 to me. I know they got a couple conference games to finish out, and honestly, the sky's the limit for this team. And I think even next year, they could be even better, right? So you look to what Nate Oates has done. He has made Alabama basketball relevant again. He has made Coleman Coliseum electric. And honestly, that gymnasium, it needs a redo. We all know that. Like, the students need to be on the court, and the people who are kind of in the front, like I don't know who those are, like the longtime season ticket holders, they need a better like box or something like that, kind of behind. But the students need to be right there. The students deserve to be right there. The players deserve for it to be crazy, and they are 13-1 on the season at home, absolutely crushing it. So yeah, that's kind of Nate Oates is just, what he's been able to do, just unbelievable, and absolutely crushing it. And good to see him up for Coach of the Year. And I think he's going to be mentioned for a lot of jobs, so don't be worried about the jobs that you see. He's one of the rising stars, okay? But he's being paid here at Alabama. I mean, Ohio State, what are they paying? I think their coach, they're paying him like $3 million, $4 million. Nate Oates is making $5 million here. He's getting paid. That was a big job. That was a big get for Greg Byrne. And I kind of see a lot of kind of resemblance, honestly, in Coach Kalen DeBoer. Now, I know he hasn't even coached one football game, but, he's doing something. Greg Byrne, he did a hell of a job getting Coach Oates. Before we get to Coach Sean, I want to pay a quick bill real fast. And I want to say thank you very much to Residence Inn in Ocean City, Maryland. Guests can book at Residence Inn OC. Use the promo code LPR for special Bama football pricing, up to 20% off. We appreciate our sponsors very much. And if you are a fan funder right here on Bama Football on YouTube, we appreciate you as well. Thank you for being here on Bama Football and supporting us. For only $2.99, we appreciate you guys being here per month. T, are we good on the overlay in the back? All right, and we'll set up the cams as well. Coach Sean, you good in the back? All right, man. Yeah, we got Coach Jarek too, so we'll go with the 3 screens, and then we'll bring Coach Sean and Coach Jarek in. I'll check my audio, and in 2 seconds we will on Bama Football on YouTube. All right, T, I think we're ready to go. You can take off the main overlay. All right, fellas, what's up? Coach Sean, Coach Jarek, I appreciate you guys being here. And Patriot Life, getting the party started by hooking up everybody right here with 5 fan funders memberships right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Patriot Life, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a guy that really supports the product and, does a great job right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Hey, Coach, I just I'll swap screens up here. I just watched you guys' special teams video. I just published it, actually. Thought you did a really good job hitting on a couple different points that even I am interested in. For example, like replacing Will Reichard, my goodness, like the all-time leading scorer in college football history. James Burnap, I think, is so underrated. I can't wait to see who returns kicks or punts. Really excited about that. So a lot to dive into. I'm going to turn the keys over to you guys. You guys do your thing. Have a beautiful show. Fam, please support the coaches like you would support me. You guys got Coach Sean, Coach Jarek right here on Bama Football on YouTube. You have a beautiful Friday night, and we will catch you guys soon right here on Bama Football on YouTube.
Coach Jay, what's up with you? Coach Jay, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, Coach Sean?
Oh, man, literally just walking in the house, man. Just walking in the house.
Same.
What's cracking with you, brother? How you feeling?
No, I just came back from grocery shop, and I just came back from Wegmans, and I just got settled down, and stuff like that. Foods are freaking expensive, inflation, all that type of crap. So
yeah, same man. Picked my daughter up took her to therapy at 4 on a little knee, left there. Stopped by Taco Mama in town, Madison. Was trying to gobble down a few tacos before I hopped on here, bro. Breath smelling like onions, but it is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is, man.
No sugar bacon, dog.
No sugar bacon. You know what I mean? So who we got, Coach Jay? Let me get that. Hold on. Shout out to Patriot Life. Patriot Life, you always the man, brother. We thank you more than you know. You already know how we feel about you. You do a great job, man. We appreciate you. You're a part of the team, bro. And I can promise you, everybody at this that work for Bama Football on YouTube, thanks you. Shout out to Coach Smook in the chat, man. What's up, Coach Smook? How you doing, bro? Hope everything going good with you, man. Shout out to Carla Bay. Hold on, Coach Jay. All right, there we go. We got it good. Shout out to Carla Bailey. She in the chat. What's up, Carla Bailey? Jay Jackson's in here. Alexa's in here. Exactly. Shout out to Carla. Marquita, my neighbor. What's up, Marquita? How you doing? Caitlin Ingle. What's up with you, man? Coach Smook. Yeah, man. That Taco Mama bride to go by there, bro. It's nice atmosphere. It's cool outside. They got the window up. Everybody chilling. It's packed out there, man. Over there by the stadium. So yeah, man, had to go there and stop through for a minute. Shout out to Patriot Life, man. Ephraim, OG Ephraim is in here. What's up, Ephraim? Alexa's in here. Chandra Heights is in here. Mike Coleman is in here. Cynthia Middleton is in here. As we know, Coach Smook doing this thing. Ty Alexander's in here. Crimson Dad 813 is in here. Dwight P is in here. Kimberly Harmon is in here. IMAX 3D is in here. Randall Green is in here. Sean is in here. Sean Williams, what's up with you? Coach Mook say, Sean, I'm gonna be in the Ville around 9:30. Y'all cooking, bro. You come up here at 9:30. We finna get it in, bro. We going way more places than Taco Mama. I can promise you that. You know what I mean? Let me know, bro. I'm gonna roll the red carpet out for you, bro. Janet Forsyth is in here. Janet and Alexa, as I said before. Juvie 86 is also in here, and JJ is in here. What's up with y'all? Wade's World has just popped in here, man. Shout out to you guys, man. Coach Jay, what's up with you, bro?
Man, I'm just ready to get into it, man. I'm ready to talk some sugar bacon, whatever man. Whatever's down, man. I'm ready to get into it.
So, rivals think they've won, man. I put this up because Coach Jay, I've been seeing a lot of crazy stuff, man. Like I think the straw that broke the camel's back for me, you know, that the school, I can tolerate Auburn. I can tolerate Texas A&M. I can tolerate Georgia. I can tolerate just about any school, but it's one school I cannot tolerate, bro. Like I just cannot tolerate them. They don't deserve any sugar bacon at Tennessee. They don't deserve it. They don't deserve it.
Burnt greasy.
Boom, burnt, greasy. Exactly, Coach Jay. So I seen some today that Tennessee was like, with Coach Saban gone, the SEC is ours for the taking. Like this is what their powers that be are saying, and I've heard that from like 4 different fan bases. You know, with Saban gone, I even heard Cam Newton telling CJ Stroud, "Oh no, Saban gone." Man, listen. I can stand Auburn saying that, right? Because it's just like a horn playing with nobody blowing it. The horn playing itself. You don't even pay that no attention, right? But when Tennessee said that just creepy crawled it up under my little skin right here. And I had to speak on it, bro. Tennessee, of all people. So now that Saban gone, Tennessee think they're going to win. What you think about that, Coach Jay?
It is, you know, this just proves right here, guys, that the NCAA just has no power at all. This just proves right here that the conference have a hold. The fact that Tennessee fans are celebrating, which, like I said, they rightfully deserve. Tennessee went into this thing. They went into it, and they've won the war. I can't even say they won the battle. They won the war. The NCAA is a joke. And shout out to Tennessee and Virginia for winning their lawsuit cases. You know. Just like it's not just Tennessee, Virginia. Let's be honest, the NCAA wanted to make a statement. They wanted to make a statement, right? They caught Tennessee, Virginia in the act. They could have let it go because they weren't trust me, it was not the only school that they were caught doing this type of crap, but they wanted to make a statement. They tried something with Florida State. Florida State's going to win their case. The NCAA has no power, no shot at all. And what schools will be doing once again is recruiting kids and offering NIL sort of deals and contracts, whatever. And this is college football. This is the world. And this is why we talked about this last night. 10, 15, maybe even 20 years from now, that's when we can see some sort of restrictions. Until then, it's a free-for-all, and the NCAA can't do anything about it. And now we have to hear for the next week or two, Tennessee fans celebrate like they just won a national championship.
Yep, it's crazy because all of these people think since Coach Saban retired that Bama's leaking blood or leaking oil or something right now, and that's okay. That's okay because the season it's gonna give it. What did Coach Saban used to say? You don't worry about what people say. All you worry about is what you gonna do to shut them up. You know what I mean? So it's okay. But as far as these NCAA rules, bro, we are living in unparalleled times right now with college football. College football is about to be super different. And you know what this makes me think we're gonna go, Coach Jay? I think at some point there's just gonna be two conferences and they're gonna govern themselves or something.
Yes, it is.
I think that's what's coming. Because
it's gonna be the AFC and the NFC.
Yeah, you watch, man. You watch because a judge, as we all know today, suspended NCAA rules on NIL, right? Dealing a serious blow to college football sports governing body. Like they ruled, and when have you guys ever known that to happen, right? The NCAA was the end all be all, right? And if you try to go against them, they put your eligibility in question and all type of wonderful little things, right? It's a victory for Tennessee and Virginia, just like Coach Jay said. The preliminary injunction was granted by the Eastern Tennessee District by Judge Clifton Corker, found that NIL rules cause irreparable damage to athletes. So even though Tennessee was caught, Virginia, right, the judge just pretty much told them in layman terms, and pardon my French, we don't give a damn what you're talking about, right? And this is what it is. So right now it's about to be a straight up free for all, right? Straight up free for all. This is the beginning of the end of the NCAA, right? These guys try to come in, flex their muscles, like Coach Jay said, and they just got the baloney slap. They got B2A today. They got belt to ass today. So what you think, Coach Jay?
Nope, you're right. You're right. The answer, I mean, this is the worst case scenario for NCAA because now schools are going to be taking a look at it and they're going to be sitting up there and saying, really? You lost to Tennessee and Virginia out of all the schools that you lost to when in terms of NIL? You lost to these schools? Oh, it's about to be over. I mean, watch what Texas is about to do. You thought Texas was bad now. Look what they're about to do now. I mean, they're about to go off. A&M is about to go off. All the, U.S., like we talk about the California schools. Pretty sooner or later, I mean, that's the land of NIL over there in the state of California. In the city of Los Angeles, all those business. Oh no, it's about to be a wrap. So this is the end of the NCAA. I truly do believe it. This was the worst case scenario that you could that you could potentially imagine, and they just showed why they're just a complete joke. They have no power. They have no idea what they're doing, and this is why. Nick Saban being talked about being the commissioner. He was asked the question of whether he was about to be the commissioner. Listen, Nick Saban, we know what Nick Saban is. Nick Saban he's going to vie for that commissioner spot because that's really the only person that knows what to do. This is the person that's been around the business for such a long time. He's respected around. He's respected. Saban might have to be the commissioner. You may not have you may not have a choice because you have no power figure. You have no power figure. You need a Julius Caesar. Right, the Roman Republic is dead. You need an Augustus Julius Caesar. You need that's what you need because restore order. The Roman Republic is dead. Restore some damn order, man. But no, the NCAA they try to puff out their chest. They try to make sure that they want to make sure that they were the big dogs. Remind everybody that they were the big dogs, and they got slapped across the face. And they got pimp slapped. They got pimp slapped across the face. Got the ugliest kind of slap. And this is exactly what they deserve.
Whole facts. All facts. I couldn't have said it better myself. You already know, Marquita. Marquita was on top of it quick too, man. It's crazy right now, man. I want to ask the chat. I want to ask you guys, what if at this time last year, somebody told you guys before the season started that the Pac-12 wouldn't exist? Right? What if somebody told you right now, then at the Pac-12 going, well, guess what? Next year, the Big 12 is going to be gone. You'd be like, what? What the hell's going on? So when you see what's going on with the NCAA, this is the little crumbles before the building breaks that's going to lead into college football expansion. That's why I got these number 2 and number 3 titles the way they are. What you see happening today with the NCAA, just like Coach Jay said, this is going to pole vault other schools to absolutely go bonkers, just like he said, right? You think they was going bonkers before. Man, they about to go bonkers, bro. The NCAA don't have no power no more, man. This is the first lashing, if you want to call it, which is going to lead into college football expansion. You're right. We thought we seen it all with USC and UCLA and all these schools going to wherever, right? Now, and also with what SMU and Stanford and who else going to the and Cal going to the ACC, right? We thought that was ridiculous. Wait till you see what's going to happen later, man. I honestly believe the ACC will be the next one to get rated, right? I think Florida State is going to have to make a decision at some point. I think Clemson is going to have to make a decision, and Miami, the big three in that league, is going to have to make a decision at some point. I understand the grant of rights and all that good stuff, but I'm going to tell you something that overrides all that, and that's more and more money, right? Anytime you can lace these lawyers and these rules and these bylaws with enough money in the right people's hands, you see how they just so casually fall to the wayside, right? The NCAA is done. It's just like Coach Jay said, they're done, right? And I really do believe now that you've seen that blow stricken, I do think you're going to see the next dominoes, maybe after the season, right? But you're going to see these schools start to try to jump to other conferences. You're going to see these schools start to position themselves to other conferences. The Big Ten has already got what, Coach Jay, 16, 18?
Let's see. They had 12. They had 12 before. So UCLA, USC, Oregon. I'm trying to think. Yep, they got 16 teams.
16 teams, man.
Yep.
So you add those 2 West Coast schools. Well, 3 West Coast. Didn't Washington go?
Yep. That's Oregon, USC, UCLA, and Washington. Just okay. So they had 12 teams before, and then that's 16.
Wow. So they got
18 though. They about to get 18 teams.
Yeah, I think so. To me, I've always looked at Florida State, and not for how well or bad they done, just geographically. Florida State fit in this conference. I know we already got a Florida school, but Florida State in any other conference would look stupid, right? But then again, I can't say that because USC's in the Big Ten, right?
I think we're coming to a point where I think regions and stuff, they don't matter anymore.
It don't matter anymore.
Like this tradition of region supremacy is done. I think it's really looking like the AFC and the NFC conference. Only except that I think it's that's what it's kind of looking like right now. It's like the 90s, man, where the Colts were in the Dolphins are in the freaking AFC East. How are they in the AFC East? They're from the South.
Fact.
They should be in the AFC South, but that's the way it is. I think this is exactly what it's about to come down towards. I think sooner or later, Florida State will jump. And I think if Florida State jumps, Notre Dame is going to jump with them. I think Notre Dame is not going to stay an independent forever. I know they got a contract with NBC. They have an independent deal contract and they want to keep it. But if Florida State loses, if Florida State leaves and they have other schools that are going to follow suit, they're not that whole contract that they did with the ACC, that's not going to stay anymore. Because at that point, it's kind of like, well, who are we going to get a contract from? It's not going to be is it going to be the Big 12? Are we going to get are we going to try to get a contract from the Big 12? You don't know if the Big 12 is going to be sustainable for the next 5 years.
Fact.
You just don't know. It's really looking like the SEC and the Big 10 as the 2 supreme conferences, and they may have to just rename. They honestly may have to rename the SEC, rename the Big 10 conference, and just call it something else, because you can't say the Southeastern Conference, and you can't call this Southeastern Conference, and you have all these schools that's not even a part of your region, and then the Big 10 is. I mean, it's kind of based off Regency a little bit, but they, their name doesn't speak it to like it. So the Big 10, it kind of makes sense that other schools can kind of jump in there, but that's what we're kind of going towards. It's the AFC and the NFC conference. And Ephraim, he made a comment earlier and saying that let's get rid of bowl season. We should get rid of bowl season, and only because this is the path that we're going towards. This was one of the worst rated bowl seasons ever in the history of college football. Nobody watched these games. People saw it, see the BS. It's not worth it. The players are opting out more than they've ever been before. And again, that was started by Christian McCaffrey and Leonard Fournette. They started that. Yeah. Which I don't blame that at all, but they were kind of one of the first ones to do it because Jalen Smith got hurt the year prior and he was a top 5 pick, ended up going to the second round. So, just Jake like Butt. How that follows suit, and now both Jake Butt, that's another one. All these other these situations, they're gonna follow suit. And sooner or later, it's about to be the end of bowl season. it's about to be the end of college football as we know it, and it's going to be a completely brand new sport. NIL is taking over now than it's ever been before. It's going to be a completely brand new sport.
This is something I want to ask the undefeated. I want everybody to chime in on this if you can. Are you guys ready for this type of college football? Are you ready to see USC in the Big Ten? Are you ready to see Ephraim, Jay Townsend, Janet, Kimberly, Wade's World, Cynthia, all you guys out there? Are you ready? Are you ready as fans to see this college football right here? Because think about it. Marquita said, no, I'm not. Janet said, hell no. IMAX said, hell no. Right? Think about it, guys. You got the Big 12. In that conference, you have Arizona, Arizona State, Baylor, BYU, Cincinnati, Colorado, Houston, Iowa. That conference could easily wither away as well. Right? Are you ready, Jay Townsend? Are you ready to see this football? This really two entities with a lot of other little B team entities. I don't think the ACC is going to. Now, the ACC got some powerhouse schools, like Coach Jay said. But if Florida, just like Coach Jay said, if Florida State leave, it's OV. And here's the thing, man. I don't want the Big Ten to get Notre Dame. I want Notre Dame. I'm not a Notre Dame fan, but Notre Dame probably bring more individual money than probably any other school in the NCAA as far as the way their TV contract is structured. I mean, I know ours is sliced up into, we'll split 790 million amongst 14 schools. Notre Dame has an individual, and they were the first that I can know of that had that daggum thing, right? Yeah. Notre Dame bring a lot of power, bro. So, we can say what we want, but let's just be real. Them dudes, that when they come, they gonna tip the balance. I'm telling you. We don't want the Big Ten to have a whole California coast, right? We don't want them to corner the market with those eyeballs. We don't want that. If you're gonna join a conference, come on, join the SEC so we can corner the market. Notre Dame is gonna tip the balance, man. I'm telling you. I love Texas, I love Oklahoma, but if you get USC, which USC is not a powerhouse, but they bring a lot of West Coast eyeballs, right? And that's what it's about, eyeballs. So we have the South cornered, right? We don't want Notre Dame to go up there and give them Oregon and USC and Michigan and Ohio. If you're gonna join the conference, come on, join with Florida State down here and corner this market. What do you think, Coach Jay?
No, you're right. I mean, like I said, Notre Dame with that NBC because you're getting NBC and Peacock. You're getting all these streaming services and that's the future. Streaming services, that's the future. And so you're getting a lot of money with Notre Dame and in that particular area that you're kind of bringing into the table. And you look at the Big Ten. I mean, there's a chance they may get Apple TV. Remember, they had those negotiation contracts with Apple TV. And if Apple TV signed, that's a humongous amount of money for their season pass that they're about to bring with college football. That's a humongous amount of money. So the SEC, and it's really the SEC versus the Big Ten right now. It's about it's really about who's going to get the most money, who's going to get the best TV contracts and best TV deals. Because it's not just now that the SEC is now with ESPN. It's not just that anymore. There are streaming services that you got to try to fight for. There are exclusive rights that you have to try to fight for. And the Big Ten right now is they're in a position to win. They're just in a position right now where they can get all those contracts. The SEC is not right now. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of happens. But obviously the SEC got their schools. I think getting Texas was a big deal. But yeah, I mean, if Florida State goes to the Big Ten, which that's the conference that they want to go towards right now, that it's going to be a domino effect because Notre Dame, they're going to buy out their contract with the ACC conference. They're going to buy it out eventually, and they're going to move. And they care about it, and they care about academics, right? It is an academic superior institution. The Big Ten, let's be honest, compared to the SEC, it is a much superior, academically. Sort of conference, and that's probably where they want to kind of go towards. So we'll see what happens with Notre Dame. It'll be great if we can have them there, but we'll see.
Man, let me say this: don't underestimate to the undefeated the power of the Big Ten, man. With now that they got USC and the California market and Oregon, don't underestimate these guys, man, because We're talking about football teams that aren't very good, but I'm talking about eyeballs. I'm talking about streaming services. I'm talking about the number of people, right? Don't underestimate getting that California market. That was huge for the Big Ten, right? That sort of rivals Texas when you're talking about eyeballs. Now, I will say, college football is just not very big in California. We will say that. When USC is good, it is. When USC is good, the eyeballs in California are plentiful. When USC is bad, they're not very plentiful at all. Now, Texas is just the flip side of that. Whether Texas is good or bad, people in Texas are going to watch football. They're about as bat crazy as Alabama people with football in that state. High school football is as big as it is in the country in Texas. What I will say, though, we don't want Notre Dame or Florida State to go on that side, because then you're talking about the streaming service, not the football on the field, Eric D. We gonna always destroy that. We gonna always kick their butt in that. I'm talking about the business side of it. Apple, if they get an Apple contract, man,
that's a lot of money, man.
Yes,
that's a crap ton of money.
That could change the dynamic of this thing. So we don't want them to get that, right? And right now, that's what you have, an arms race, to me, is what's going on. And people are positioning themselves, because I can tell you now, Clemson, if they ever lead the ACC, they're coming to the SEC. I believe that. We don't really need any more eyeballs from South Carolina, but Clemson does bring a brand of football. Now, I think they suck in everything else. I don't think they're very good in nothing but football, right? Maybe their basketball teams, right? I don't think they bring any type of luxuries outside of football, right? And that's it. They do have a big stake in South Carolina in football. I will say that. But I don't know how that extenuates our power, being that we have South Carolina. You know what I mean? So it's an arms race, bro. It really, really is. Florida State is sort of a national brand. Florida is too, but I don't think Florida's brand, even when Florida was good, was bigger than Florida State's. I just don't. Florida State fans are everywhere. I'm telling you, they're everywhere. Florida fans, I don't see Florida fans everywhere. I see them in the South, right? I go to New York and I see Florida FSU fans. I go all these different places and I see FSU fans. I don't know if Florida's brand is as big as Florida State's. I just don't know. I don't really know. I'm not educated to the Florida. I know nationally, I don't see a lot of Gator fans. I haven't, just me personally.
No, I do see peaked with Tim Tebow. It peaked during that Urban Meyer, Meyer saga. That's where it just peaked. Right.
So I don't know, guys. I don't know, Jay. I'm just glad we have Greg Sankey, because Greg Sankey has his pulse on this stuff, right? I really do believe we have the best commissioner as far as business is concerned, as far as, what makes us popular. What you think, Coach Jay?
No, I agree, Greg. I mean, Greg Sankey has done an incredible job, and if there's anybody that's gonna make sure that the SEC outshines the Big Ten, it's gonna be Greg Sankey. Greg Sankey does not play. Greg Sankey, he is about it. He is very, very competitive. I think the Big Ten, for the most part, I don't think the Big Ten, they're now starting to really get into this. I think they see a big opportunity coming. Greg Sankey, he been saw this. Greg Sankey been predicted that this stuff could potentially happen. That's why he was always on top of it. He was always making moves first when it comes to dealing with TV contracts, exclusive rights. Like, Greg Sankey was always the one that's been kind of pushing it. He's always kind of been the one to get on top of things. I think Greg Sankey, he's going to do everything in his power to not allow the Big Ten Conference to overthrow the SEC conference, because they know that the SEC has been the top money maker in college, at least in college football, for over a decade. It's been the top brand, the top moneymaker. The most televised games has been on CBS, right? And so, now that we've kind of gone in a different direction, I don't believe we're no longer with CBS. The Big Ten now is now with CBS with their new contract. I think we're simply just with ESPN now. It'll be interesting to see what happens there, but Greg Sankey, he could definitely go on top of it and say, you know what, maybe I can fight for Peacock. Maybe I can fight for Peacock with NBC, because that could intrigue Notre Dame. That could intrigue Notre Dame to potentially jump ship and say, you know what, the SEC, they're a part. Like, we want that NBC. We want that NBC deal. Well, we can keep it if we join the SEC conference. There's a possibility that they can get Apple TV, that they could fight to get Apple TV. There's a possibility that they can get Paramount, right? If they want to see, if they want to try to go with CBS, they can try to go with Paramount again. There's a lot, Amazon Prime, that's another huge factor. Look what the NFL is doing with Amazon Prime. The SEC could do something like that in the future. There's a lot of other factors, but yeah, streaming, that's the future. That's the future. That's where the money is. You're starting to see a lot of these mega huge sport corporations. I know the WWE, they just did something with Netflix. They had a $500 million deal with Netflix. So this is just the future with sports. And, like everything is, man, cable television is no longer it's no longer the big thing anymore. I still use cable TV because I got files with their internet, so it's kind of like I'm going to watch it. But nowadays, streaming, that's where it's at. That's the future, and I think Greg Sankey is going to get on top of it, and we'll see what happens.
I'll say this. Let me put my boy Trevor Panier's message up here. My partner Trevor Panier says, when Miami is good, their brand is the best in the state of Florida. I would debate you on that, Trevor Panier, because this is what I say. I see where you're going. And I do agree when Miami is good. I think they're more polarizing than anybody in Florida, right? When they're good, but this is what I say where Miami fall off at. They don't pack their home stadium. Like they don't. Now back in the day, they used to. No,
they don't even have a stadium.
Yeah, when they played with the dude, I went to a Miami. It was like 20,000 people there, and this was against Notre Dame. And it was a couple of years ago, man. I was just like, I think it was Notre Dame. It was like back in like 2015, man. It wasn't. I was shocked. I was like, damn, really? Wasn't nobody there? It's like Miami fans are fickle. Like when they're good, they support the team. Like Trevor Panier said,
it's like USC.
Like USC. When they're bad, and you know what it is, guys, is what I said when the guy was recruiting Julian Sand, and he told him, "Why would you want to be in Tuscaloosa?" This is why. Because when your team sucks in Miami, when your team sucks in LA, it's a lot of other things to do, right? When your college football team sucks in these places, there's a lot of other things going on that they don't have to deal with no college football. I ain't got to go pay $300 for a damn college football seat when you suck. I can go watch the Miami Heat play. I can go watch the Sabres or whoever else you got, or
watch the Marlins. You can watch
the Marlins.
Messi went to Miami.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of shit we could do.
Yeah, man. So we got to remember that. Shout out to Juvie86 for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Juvie. We appreciate you, man. We always tap in with us. We appreciate you. Me from Coach J, from Coach Sean. We appreciate you for that, Juvie. All facts, man. It's. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel where Trevor Panier is going. When Miami is good, they're polarizing, right? They're overwhelming. They're overbearing, so they make you watch them, right? But they so damn. Man, I don't know, man. I don't think Miami administration is very good, because that is a private institution, Coach Jay. They should have had a stadium. That means the funds that they allocate, they don't got to tell nobody. You know what I mean? They don't got to report nothing. They don't got to tell you where it come from. That means The Rock can drop $50 billion tomorrow and ain't got to tell a damn soul but Uncle Sam, right? They're a private institution, man. They don't have to tell you about nothing. Why don't they have a stadium in Coral Gables with all them broke down buildings down there? Tear that stuff down, build you a stadium, and call it the Eye of the Hurricane, the Eye or something. Why you driving all the way 45 to how many ever minutes it is to the Dolphin Stadium? Come on, what do you think?
Get all the way to Hard Rock Stadium, and that's something that I just never understood. I'm like, wait, like you guys for the ball. Miami has been an embarrassment. They have simply just been an embarrassment for the last 15 years in college football. Again, like they are a huge brand when they're winning. Florida State, we've seen them lose and go 4-8 seasons and still sell out 90,000, 90,000, 100,000 capacity full with camp. Like it's Miami. Yeah, it's like USC. Yeah. It is strictly for the most part. It's a bandwagon fan base. And listen, Miami, they have their hardcore fans, right? You go, I mean, they have their hardcore fans for the most part. Matter of fact, Miami, I think one of the reasons I can't even really explain it, but you look at the backyard for Miami, You go back there, the Miami Centrals, the Northwesterns, the
Booker T. Washington.
Booker. Yep, you got the Booker T. Washingtons. Like, you got legit, arguably one of the most athletic, probably neighborhoods or athletic parts of Florida. I can't really say in
South Florida, man,
on the planet. South Florida is one of the most talented spots on planet Earth when it comes to just getting pure athletes. The best athletes are in South Florida, and they have just been terrible. I agree. Their athletic administration has been terrible. Their recruiting has just been god awful. Again, you got Mario Cristobal, who went to Miami, who's from those parts, but they can't get things right there. It's an embarrassment. And the fact that they don't even have a football stadium, they haven't had a football stadium in over a decade. They have used Camp Randall or whatever the Dolphins before Camp Randall. They still use the Dolphins because they got rid of the Sun Bowl. They have
soccer stadium.
They're playing in soccer stadiums. And I agree. It's like when Miami sucks, I can watch a Heat game. I can watch a Marlins game. I can watch the Florida Panthers. I can watch now all of a sudden the biggest athlete on planet Earth is playing in Fort Lauderdale and Inter Miami with Lionel Messi. He's right there. The biggest athlete. Well, all those are, and everyone knows you go to Miami now, it's a crap ton of Argentinians. It is a crap ton. Argentinians, Cubans, all of them are now. They went from being Miami fans to all of a sudden selling out Inter Miami, and they're getting a new stadium in 4 years. A packed out 45,000 capacity filled stadium. They got an entire park. That stadium could have been right there in that park. It literally is the size of where the stadium could be at. They got an entire park and water fountain. Like, it's nice. And so I don't know. Miami is just, I don't know what the Hurricanes is doing. I mean, their entire sports administration is complete and utter garbage. And but this is just kind of the way it is for them. It's just the way it is. Florida State is the bigger brand. They're more dedicated.
Yeah, I think so too.
They're the bigger brand in that state. Florida, for the most part, you can make an argument, because I agree. You go to that Gainesville, Jacksonville area. Again, there's a lot of Florida fans there, but kind of outside of it, that's where I see a lot more Florida. That's where I see a lot more Florida State fans. But Miami fans are a joke. It's a bandwagon fan base. Of course, they have their hardcore fans, but those are people that's deep rooted in the city of Miami, around that part, not outside of the state of Florida or inside the state of Florida. It's a bandwagon fan base.
I agree. What's crazy is Trevor Panier said Miami is lit year round, and he right, man. When you go to Miami, the last thing you think about is going to a damn Hurricane game, right? Miami on South Beach is crazy. I don't think about going to a damn game when I'm in Miami, right? That's all facts, Trevor Panier. And this is a blueprint that Miami people, their administration, should have took a blueprint after. If you guys know about Louisville, years ago, Louisville, with that Papa John Stadium, they built that stadium. I think it may have held 30,000 people. It was small, 25, 30,000. It was about like the stadium I played in, about 30,000 people, right? It was about like A&M Stadium, Trevor Panier. Louisville was like that. Remember Zeke, Lula's son, Zeke played there. Me and Zeke was in the school together. Zeke played there, right? And Louisville was very small. You know what Louisville did? They put all their resources toward football, right? They built on to the stadium. They made so it went from 25 to 35, 35 to 55. Now, I don't know what hold, maybe 60,000. Papa John Stadium rocking. The campus is rocking. I don't know why Miami didn't do that, right? Start somewhere. If you think that, it's just like Coach Jay said, when you go to Miami, it's a very, very big Spanish type aura down there. The music, the clubs, right? And I don't know how much of a football fan those people are, but I damn sure know they soccer fans. That's a fact. And
a crap ton of them.
Crap ton of soccer fan, man. Look at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech. Bobby Dodd is right there in downtown Atlanta, pretty much, right? James Richards. Georgia Tech put some resources. They was the same way UAB was, right? They're smart people, so we're not gonna allocate everything to football. Well, you saw how that worked out for you. Your lights will get turned off if you don't print football. Well, now Georgia Tech, their campus is beautiful. Their stadium is awesome. Look at UAB. UAB's football right here in Birmingham down the street. They canceled their football program a few years back.
Yes, they did. That was
Crazy. They wanted to be the smart people. You know, we're not just athletes. Well, you see how they worked out for you. Your enrollment went down. Your funds went down. If you don't prep up your football, your university's not going to make it. The only universities that can last without football are those Ivy League schools. You know what I'm saying? If you're Yale, Princeton, Harvard, or Colgate, okay, cool. You don't need football, right? But everybody else do. So UAB said, you know what? We made a mistake. They brought the football team back, allocated all those resources to football. Now look at them. Banking, brand new stadium, protective stadium right there in downtown Birmingham, right there down by the Sheraton. They doing big things, man. So you right, Coach Jay. I don't know what's up with Miami, man. I don't know what their future is, right? Trav Panir says, what made Miami great back in the day is what the administration has been trying to get away from. You know what? That's a good point, bro. That's a good point, because the thuggism made them great, back in the day. They were so polarizing that you had to watch them. They were so disrespectful that you had to watch them, right? So I think that's right. They're trying to get away from that image, and in return, it's costing them some eyeballs.
One of the biggest issues now with Miami, and it's just, I don't know, in 5 years, I'm not going to say they're going to be UAB, or I'm not going to sit up here and say that they're going to be, that they're going to get a program that's going to get shut down. But the culture has changed in Miami. It is no longer a football city. It's done. It is, like, people from Miami can say what they want. The fact that the majority of your population is Spanish descent, and it's always kind of been that way, where the majority of the population was the Spanish descent. But football was just so big, and it was so important. And like you said, that aura, from what happened in the 80s with Jimmy Johnson and Michael Irvin and Jim Kelly and the rest of those guys out there, for what happened, of course, in the 90s and early 2000s. Like, Miami was it. They were bigger than the Dolphins. Yeah. Even with Dan Marino, they were bigger than them. Yeah. They were bigger. They were bigger than the Marlins and the Heat. They were the biggest, probably in all the state of Florida. Maybe you can make an argument with Florida State. It was between those two, but those were the juggernauts in college football. Those were the premier programs in college football. That is no longer the case for Miami anymore. They're not even. I can't even sit up and say that they're top four. I don't think they're top four. This is dangerous when it comes to their program because of the population of your city. And now that you bring the biggest athlete on the planet, a person that by himself was able to generate 4 billion views at the World Cup, he is playing down the road from your university. And now all of a sudden, all these people are swarming. You got Coach Sean. Let me tell you something. I have a friend that lives in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Mm-hmm. That dude, when I tell you, when they found out that he plays there, because a lot of Argentinians, they have a lot of family that's down that particular area. Yeah. When they told me that literally for the next month or two, the Argentina's economy actually, it's not the greatest economy in the world. They got a bunch of issues. But when that spiked up, it had a major growth. Why? Because people were buying airplane tickets. They were buying airplane tickets and buying Inter Miami jerseys from Argentina, and they were flying all the way to Miami just to see that dude play. This is dangerous. The culture is shifting. And because of the culture that's shifting, what do you think is going to happen? All that promotion, all that buzz when it comes to getting Miami, even if Miami wins, which I think they will, they arguably have the easiest schedule in Power 5 football, easily the easiest schedule. Even if they win 10, 11 games, who is going to care? No one in Miami is going to care, like you said, because of the lifestyle, but also because of the sports culture that has shifted. It has taken a turn. It has shifted now. And so this is I don't really feel bad for Miami because this is their fault. This is their fault. They did not promote that. They did a terrible job. All that talent that's literally in your backyard, and you have ignored it. You have let Alabama come and swoop. You let Georgia come and swoop. You let Florida. You let all these schools. Ohio State with 2012 with Urban Meyer. They went. Urban Meyer's first year, he came in and he swooped Florida. And he got Texas. Like, it's a shame. It's a shame. Yeah. But They have nothing to blame but themselves.
Catch that super chat, Coach Jay, if you will. Can you grab it?
Yes, I can. Efron Davis says, y'all tag team got to have a name, Coach Jay and Coach Sean. No, we gonna think of one. We're gonna think of one. But no, it's just a shame. It's a shame because 15, 20 years ago, Miami was one of the top 10 biggest brands on the planet. And now it's not even the four. It's not even, you can make an argument, it's not even top 5 in the city. No one cares anymore.
Yeah.
No one cares.
And it's so shocking, Coach Jacob, when you say that, it's so powerful, because I grew up when them dudes was the bomb, right? Like Trevor Pannier said, Uncle Lou, man, Miami was like, man, they was like a team full of Big Daddy Canes, man. Like, but you know what the number one problem with Miami is, outside of the administration and things of that nature? For years, they let the talent in Miami get away. When Miami was good, everybody from South Florida stayed in South Florida, right? These guys had Clinton Portis, Edgerrin James, who else was in that backfield that year? It was like
Willis McGahee,
Frank Gore, Willis McGahee, Frank Gore, Clinton Portis. They was all on the same damn roster at the same time, running a year or two from each other.
Jeremy Shockey, Kellen Winslow Jr.
The kid, what's the dude from the Panthers? I mean, from the Carolina Panthers, the tight end. He's an announcer now. The tight end. He played for the Panthers. Greg Olsen. Yeah, man, these dudes had everybody, bro.
Yep, like Vince Wilfork.
Yes, man. I remember all 4 of their secondary dudes went first round. I think it was Mike Rumpf. It was Mike Rumpf, Edgerrin, Ed Reed.
It was Antonio something.
Sean Taylor and somebody else. I can't remember the other corner. Philip Buchanan.
Yep,
all them dudes went in first round. It's like, bruh. Yeah, thank you, Trevor Pannier. So it's like, but all them dudes was from South Florida. All of them, except for Edgerrin. Not Edgerrin, but Ed Reed was from New Orleans. But if you look at South Florida right now, guys, South Florida, Santana Moss, right? South Florida is littering Bama, Georgia, Ohio State, right? Now, Mario has, Jonathan Vilma, exactly. Mario has started with NIL to keep some of those kids home. But it's like now, man, the hoopla don't surround them. Like Coach Jay said, now it's just kind of like, right? You playing in front of 30,000 people. Right? Some of your games are blacked out because you don't got a packed house. You got to play on a soccer field to make it look like it's a lot of people. So DJ Williams, I know, bro. I mean, Devin Hester. Man, when you think about the talent them dudes had, it was stupid crazy, man. Stupid crazy. So I don't know where they go from here, man. But case in point, I don't even know who the biggest brand in Florida is no more, because Florida State, they just did well, right? Cool. Florida's struggling, and God, with the schedule that Florida has, man, they're not coming back next year. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That schedule, I know, man. It's crazy.
They had to rely once again on the transfer portal to get immediate contributors, because they just didn't do well recruiting.
I'll tell you this, Coach Jay, and I'll tell anybody in the undefeated this: Florida may possibly have the hardest schedule that I've ever seen a college football team have in one season. If you look at their schedule, the first couple of games, you're like, okay, that's pretty difficult, but I can see them winning at least 2 of the 4, right? I can see them losing 2 of the 4 too. But when you look at them last 6, 7 games, man, bro, it's a wrap for them dudes, man. I know Billy be feeling like, did I piss somebody off? Right? Did I piss somebody off? Because they scared. If you think our schedule's tough or Georgia's schedule's tough, I challenge each of you to go pull up Florida's schedule and look at the last 6, 7 games they play. Man, it's stupid, bro. I'm telling you, it's stupid crazy. So it's crazy, Coach Jay. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's not fair for him, man. That dude, he took a hold of a very bad situation when Dan Mullen got fired. A terrible situation. And it was just nothing he can do. I mean, really, it's just, I mean, I know a lot of Florida fans don't like him. They don't feel like he can develop and all this stuff like that. But there's just not that much talent for him to work with. And then you look at recruiting. Well, why would you go to Florida? And Billy Napier, he pulled off like 2 top 10 recruiting classes, which, there were some of the high recruiting classes that Dan Mullen couldn't even achieve. And, obviously, Billy Napier, you got to win with the talent you have, but the schedules are always tough. You got the transfer portal that came into the factor as soon as Billy got there.
Yeah. And
then it's a mess. Their administration, the boosters, for the most part, they've kind of taken a hold, and it's awful. It's awful. Now you have this going on. I mean, those last 6 games are insane.
That lawsuit, yeah, man. That Jalen Rashada stuff that's going on with them. It's crazy. Remember
those boosters were pissed off with him because they didn't get Jalen Rashada. Like, they said, all that money that we could have offered you, like, why did you take the money? And he's like, we're not doing that. I don't know.
Hey, man, I feel bad for Billy, man. I used to like Billy when he was at Bama. He was the wide receivers coach when Amari was here, Calvin and all them, when from Amari to Calvin. And it's just like, man, dude, they gave that man that kind of schedule, man. Golly, bro. That's like, he don't have, outside of who he play, I think it's UCF. I think they don't get a week. They don't get a breathe. They don't get no breathing room, man. Was it Samford and UCF or just UCF? Those are the only 2 breathing room games he have, man. Everything else is LSU, Florida State, Ole Miss, man, Georgia. It's just like, good night, man. He they didn't cut that brother no slack whatsoever, man. So shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? And all the Florida fans is about to be pissed off. And they talking about starting that freshman, DJ Lagway. Psh, okay.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of DJ Lagway film. He's not. I mean, like I said, I think he's going to end up being a good player if he's properly developed. But the coaching regime that they have right now, the scheme that he's about to be put in, and the team that's surrounding him, they're not ready. And he's going to get thrown in the blender. The Miami game, that's not going to be an easy game. I mean, as much crap as we talked about Miami, I think Miami this could be a 10-win team. Seriously, I think this Miami team could be a 10-win team.
Yeah.
You got Sanford, but then after that, you play you're at the road at Kyle Field, right? In a hostile.
Listen to the schedule, everybody. Listen to the schedule, Coach Jay saying.
Like, that's nuts. You got to play Texas A&M on the road in a hostile environment. Like that's not. Can you imagine your first game, like, as a true freshman? Like, you're just coming off the Miami, the Sanford game, of course, but you have Miami as the first to start off the season. That's a rivalry game. That's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
Then you got to play on the road at Kyle Field. 100,000. I mean, we struggle to play in Kyle Field. 110,000 people in that stadium. All that noise and record. That's a true freshman he's got to work with. Then you're on the road at Mississippi State with all those cowbells. Then you have UCF. Then you play Tennessee. Then Kentucky. Then Georgia. Then Texas. Then LSU. Ole Miss. And then you're on the road at Florida State. Like, that's just not fair.
Georgia. Not fair. Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, Florida State, Miami. You and your gimme games is UCF and Sanford. You might lose the UCF game if you ain't careful.
Yeah, I'm about to say that Gus Mills on offense, man. That can give you trouble. And then you're 2 back-to-back road games on the road at Kyle and then on the road at the Mississippi State field. You know what? All those Kyle. Man,
bad business, man. Florida, damn, man. That's yeah, man. To play Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, and Georgia all back to back to back. That ain't cool for nobody to do, bro. That's not cool for anyone to do, man. Trevor Panett says 4-8. They might go 4-8, man. They might go 4-8 if they're not careful, bro. Man, Dr. 334, what's up, bro? So yeah, man. This year is gonna be crazy. I think changes are still changes are gonna come, guys. And as much as the Big Ten and the SEC butt heads, you see they working together to find some stipulations going on for this pay for play stuff that's going on. You watch this summer. Well, shout out to James Richards, University of Georgia. Watch this summer, guys. Watch this summer that the SEC and the Big Ten working together are going to do something. They're not putting their heads together for no reason, man. You know, you don't find the Hatfields and the McCoys working together for no reason. You know, if you can get both of these guys on the same page, look for changes to come. You know what I always tell you guys: if you want change, piss rich people off. Piss the rich people off who make the decisions, and I guarantee you're gonna have some change. Watch. You know what Jane Richardson said? Jane Richardson said, "Where'd it go? I missed it. There it is. That it, Coach Jay. If Clemson comes to the SEC, Dabo is going to become an average coach. But you know what, James? That may be true, but it's bigger than just it's the survival. It's the survival of their program, right?
Yeah, you got to survive now, man.
Facts, Coach Jay. Speak on it.
You gotta survive. They're barely surviving right now in the ACC conference. I really shouldn't say that because they're winning around 9-10 games per year in the ACC conference, but they've struggled. You know, Dabo Swinney, he lost both his coordinators. One, I forgot his name is, but he's the head coach of Wake Forest. And all of a sudden you lose Brent Venables, obviously to Oklahoma. And Brent Venables was the glue. Like that was the person that was recruiting that him. And then I keep forgetting the name, but the defensive line coach, he's Oklahoma's now defensive line coach. These two guys were monsters at recruiting. These were the guys that were always flying out. Like these were the backbone to your program. And one of the things about Dabo Swinney, and this is I got to give him a lot of credit for it, was for over a decade that dude held his coaching staff. He did not let anybody poach. And Brent Venables had a lot of opportunities to become a head coach. He denied it all until he got that job all the way to Oklahoma. But when he lost these coaches, all of a sudden, guess what happened? They're losing. They can't win. They can't win as much games. All of a sudden, you're starting to see a lot more of these coaches for Clemson. They're starting to leave it a lot more on a consistent basis. Dabo Swinney is going through something that Nick Saban is going through right now. And Kirby Smart's kind of the same way because he's losing positional coaches and coordinators to other schools. This is what happens though when you're so successful. When you're so successful, now you're really going to be tested. We're going to see, are you an all-time great coach? Because yes, you had a phenomenal stint, but the reason why Nick Saban is on a class of his own is because of the amount of coaches that dude has to replace every single year, and he's still winning over 10, 11 games per year, still going into playoff games and competing for national titles. Dabo Swinney can't even get to the playoffs. He can't even get back to that stage ever since he lost his coordinators and his first stage of positional coaches. And now all of a sudden you're going to the SEC when you're struggling right now in the AC conference. Your recruiting classes, they're not as good as they used to be before. Matter of fact, when Brent Venables and all these coaches started to leave and Clemson and Dabo Swinney, he actually brought in a staff that focused a lot more on recruiting. There were more better recruiting experts and evaluators, supposedly with the 24/7 sports rankings compared to those other coaches. They got worse with more talent in a weaker conference. Like, think about that. They got worse with more 5 stars than they ever had before. And all of a sudden, you're going into the SEC when you have schools that care about recruiting, that care about that care about having that talent and have the best coaches. No, like if they go into the SEC, he's fighting for his job.
Facts.
I don't give a crap how many national championships that dude won. He's fighting for his job as soon as Clemson opens the SEC conference. And I think it's going to be a struggle. I think it will be a struggle.
Who is that, Marquita? Who we talking about? Somebody call into the show? Probably one of them other fans that call in that won't pull up and show it and hop on here. You know how that go, Marquita. You know how they do. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I don't know. I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. I really don't. I don't see it getting any better anytime soon. So that's why this year is so prevalent, man. That's why, Coach Jay, I want to see us this year do what we came to do. Really get on the field and really let Coach KD put his style. Let these young coaches do their thing, man. Did you see that? I don't know if anybody in the chat seen it in the Undefeated. I heard about it. I hadn't listened to it because I know it's going to piss me off if I listen to it. What is this rant that everybody's talking about Matt Moscona done? Did you hear it, Coach Jay? They say he went on some. I read in several different places he went on some major rant about Alabama football, this, that, and the third. But I tell the chat this: they do that because when you talk Alabama football, it brings eyeballs. What's up, Coach Smoot?
What's up, man? Can y'all hear me?
What's going on? Yes,
yeah. When you talk Alabama football, it brings eyeballs, man. Coach Smoke, did you? I don't know if you listened to it, but I read what this Matt Moscona dude went on another rant about. Oh, you talking about the Bama hater dude, Marquita?
I gotta go get him. I gotta go get him again.
Oh, they say he came. We went on some rant about Alabama football. One big rant.
Oh, I might be able to get his attention this time. He tried to ignore me last time. I might be able to get his attention. I got about 2,000 more followers than I did last time when I posted that video. So might be able to get his attention this time.
Eric Dixon, Coach Sean J. I'm catching a flight, so I'm in and out of the chat. Be great hanging out with you guys. Hey man, shout out to you, Eric D. Be safe,
Eric.
brother.
What's up, Eric?
Be safe, man. Be safe and take care. Marquita, as far as that Bama hater dude, that's all he gonna ever do is call, because he know if he call, he ain't gotta talk to nobody. That's all he gonna do. You know what I mean? I would flame that dude so bad, and he know it. He know it. He probably in here rubbernecking right now. He don't want no smoke because he know I'm gonna put belt to ass if I ever get a hold to him. I'm gonna do him like Mama used to. I'm gonna hold his hand up and I'm gonna scar him up real good.
Domestic violence.
How dare you be a fan of another chat and come in here talking? How dare you hate on the very team that you're named after, you goof? Right, I'm saying? You hate Bama, but you put Bama in your name. I slap your lips off. Verbally, no violence, verbally. So tell Bama hater that. Whenever he want this smoke, don't call in, hiding behind these goofy profiles or something. Come on, pull up and get your issue. Period. Shout out to Coach Smoke. Shout out to Coach J. Oh man, my bad. Go ahead.
Shout out to Randall Green with the just became a new member, fam. Welcome back, Randall. But said, let me renew it. Then I ain't gonna do the automatic. And then he came with the $5 super chat, said had to get my green back. Roll Tide coaches. Hey, I feel you, brother. I feel you.
Randall.
That, man. What y'all got going though, man?
Oh man, we was just talking about how college football, and this expansion, man, and everything that's coming. You know, Coach Jay was schooling them what's going on, and it's about to be big, man. I told Coach Jay, one of our talking points real quick before we get up out of here is one thing is going to lead to another, Coach Smook. You see the L that the NCAA took today, right? Right? They pretty much, the judge in Tennessee pretty much said, shut up. We ain't standing what you talking about, NCAA. That's the first block. Watch what come next with the SEC and the Big Ten. Watch what come next. Now, with the NCAA losing power verbally, watch the positioning everybody takes.
Hey, watch the NCAA become null and void. It's going to be a lot of people out of jobs as far as those guys on the NCAA, that board and all that stuff. All that year of mishandling the student athletes. Saban and this Big Ten staff coming together, they're basically just going to behead. They just gonna behead the NCAA, and it's gonna be like you said. I think it's gonna come down to two power conferences. It's gonna be kind of like the NFL, and it's gonna be governed. It's gonna really be governed on a level that's progressive towards the NFL, which might be it's gonna be a huge change for college football, of course. But it might be the next best thing when you talk about including NIL and starting to put salary cap on positions, setting the max value worth for players as freshmen, and setting a progressive chart for them to receive that NIL and those type of deals, and start getting that professional progression towards being a professional system set in place. And that entails, you know what that's going to do? That's going to pull conference, what they call it, like conference integrity. That's going to pull that away, because now you can't say that Alabama is the SEC when Alabama football is the only team competing in this power conference, and then their basketball team is still competing in the SEC, and then Ole Miss. You get what I'm saying? Like it's gonna get crazy. But it might end up being better for the change, man.
It's crazy, man. Mike Ford, shout out to Mike Ford.
It's gonna be one of them things that nobody's going to understand though. Like even though I say it might make sense, it might be better. I still won't understand it. And college football won't be college football anymore. It won't. No,
it's done.
Yeah, man.
It's a completely brand new sport. I'm telling you, it's gonna be the AFC versus the NFC conference. You're gonna start seeing divisional games. I mean, we're getting a taste of it right here, guys. We may play Georgia 3 times. Like there's a big chance we may play that team 3 times. The first game won't mean nothing. We could lose to them twice. and it won't in the SEC championship game in the regular season, and it won't be. And we get to the playoffs, we may get them there, and it's kind of like, that's our bragging right. That's our bragging right, and that's going to be our part of winning a national title. This is the step. This is how it is. NIL is taking over. The regions crap that's done with. The regions don't mean anything. The tradition of that is done with. Conference championships will be eliminated. No one's going to care about conference championships.
You think the SEC would let theirs go?
Yeah,
I think, yeah.
Man,
you think so?
I think, you know what? Mm-hmm. I think the SEC, when all this starts to change, I think the SEC will be the front runner, like the bullhead. They'll be the ones to lead it on, because everything right now, you think about it, college football wise, everything right now runs through the SEC. Media exposure, everything runs through the SEC. You have your one-offs with Notre Dame, Ohio State, USC, Oregon, Texas, but the SEC is where it's at. And Texas coming to the SEC makes it even more of like the powers to be. So you got a lot of influence in this conference. So if Saban and Big Ten coming together is like, I ain't just gonna say Saban, but the SEC and the Big Ten coming together, that tells you like where the power's going to be at. Those guys that are in that room that are traditionally from that conference, and that's what it's going to be. Former ADs, former coaches from the college ranks that's going to be, putting this staff together, this committee together, and if it goes that way, they'll be the ones to lead it.
So let me ask you something, Coach Smoot, before I get out of here. Shout out to Wade's World. And I was just joking, man. I don't know violence. I was just joking. I would love to talk to Bama Hater and debate with him verbally. Shout out to Wade's World, though. You already know Wade's World. Real quick, let me ask Coach Smoot. I want to give Mike Fort's opinion on this as well, Mike. I don't know if you was in the chat when I asked this question. I asked all the undefeated, and they told me their answer. So you, Coach, me and Jay, we all talked about it. Now think about it before you answer. USC in the Big Ten, Cal's in the Big Ten, Oregon's in the Big Ten. Not Cal, but excuse me, USC and UCLA. Cal is in the AC freaking C, right? Stanford.
That's crazy.
Arizona's in the Big 12. Arizona is in the Big freaking 12. So Coach Smoot, Mike Fort, do y'all like how college football is right now? Do you like this new version of college football?
No, it's not good for the kids. You talking about these? We're still talking about student athletes, Sean. Like we're talking about student athletes, and at the high school level, they start prepping them for college travel, but most prep programs have a system set up to where it's not, so much. I guess it's a lot more structure because they're teenagers. They have guardians. They have guardianship forums. When you get to college, you're talking about adults that you're trying to make still be students and be professional athletes at the same time. So something got to give at some point, bro. And the way college football is shaping up, it's not about education no more. You get what I'm saying? You got it's very, and I'm not gonna say very far and few, but that's not the focal point of media nowadays when it comes to college football. And a lot of your top end talent, that's not their focus right now. They can get by for 2.5 years and really just, that's it. That's all they're worrying about. So I think, and I heard Coach Jay say it earlier too, man. It's not going to be college football no more. Me and Jake Merrill was talking about it yesterday. It was going to be the preparatory professional football league. Like that's what it's going to do. It's going to prepare you for the National Football League. And you're going to have kids that be able to go to college and be college athletes that don't get paid. They have a certain amount that they're going to get, stipend, old school value. Then you're going to have this preparatory professional football league that kids are going to be able to go to straight out of high school, don't have to go to school, and they're just going to play football for 2.5, 3 years so they could be eligible for the draft.
I think real quick before we go, shout out to Mike Ford too. Mike Ford, I saw your answer, man, and everybody's sort of feeling that way. I think when you take the regions out of it, it sort of take a little of the pride out, because even the kids like going against other conferences. Like the kids in the South like playing Mike Ford and them. Now the Big Ten kids, even though some of them kids be from the South, the majority of them kids be from all of those areas. They like playing down South. We like to play against each other, in the Regency. So, but if you have Florida State in the dadgum Big Ten, if you have Notre Dame talking about the SEC, academics is bad and all that. I just don't know, man. It's just, I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? But listen,
crazy, man.
Go ahead, Coach Jay. I want to hear what you got to say.
No, I was about to say this before I kind of get out of here. I said this I think I said this 4 years ago, and this is when the XFL was still around. They're now the UFL, so they now kind of got around and they combined the two leagues. Shout out to Bo Scar, by the way, for I think for Birmingham. But I'm telling this right now, guys. If they get a huge contract done, and they're under the NFL, so they're a developmental league now when it comes to the NFL, but they can still get their own TV contracts. They can still get their own streaming services. If they get a big contract deal, let's say from Apple TV or an Amazon Prime, that's going to be under them. Watch out. Because if they get a lot of money that's being distributed right back into the league, into ownerships, I am telling you this right now, it is going to look like the Premier League. It's going to look like La Liga. What they're going to do is they can go after high school kids. The NFL can't do it, but they can.
But they can. It's going to be
right.
Yep.
That's crazy, man.
And what they can do is they can get these kids. They can get these kids. They can pay just as much as what NIL is offering nowadays with all these local businesses, and only except that it can be better because now the league is paying them premier contracts plus all the endorsements. All those endorsements that's going to look like NO to them, so that could be more money for them for a lot of these athletes, a lot of these kids, and depending on how it is, I know again I'm just basing this off of like NBA because the NBA does it. You can play about a year and off abroad in the professionals, and then you can go off. But if that translates to the UFL where you can play for about maybe a year or maybe let's say a minimum of 2 years, it's over. It's over. I'm telling you, man, watch out for these developmental football leagues. What's about to happen. Especially if they get these huge contract deals.
Man, I loved you guys to death, bro. Shout out to the undefeated. Shout out to Coach Smoot, Coach J, JM, my homeboy Jake Merrill, my boy Ty Hayes, Kyle, and Lady T on the wheels of steel behind the scenes at Crack Coach Smoot up last night. You know what I mean?
Wheels of steel, baby. Hey, I'm about to be on the wheels of steel tonight after the show. Well, so my plan is, man, I'm gonna go ahead and after my segment, lay it down, chill with the fam, and then I'm gonna hit the road probably like 2 in the morning.
What you doing?
I'm heading down to T-Town, man. I'm moving this weekend.
Tonight?
Yeah, bro.
I mean, so y'all moving tonight? Or
yeah,
I guess
nice.
You already got a spot and all that good stuff?
Yeah, man. We lined up. We got some stuff lined up. We gonna
finalize
some things Monday.
I told you get to Bama, bro.
That's why I said I'm gonna be in Huntsville about 9:30, 10 o'clock. Is y'all gonna cook some breakfast? Is y'all cooking breakfast? I'm pulling up to eat some breakfast.
so how long you say you coming from Virginia, right?
Yeah, it's about 10 and a half.
You pushing the drive?
Yeah. I like to drive,
safe,
man.
Bro.
I like to
be
drive.
safe,
we come to Tennessee and all that. So
be safe, bro. Please be safe, man. You know what I mean? Be safe on them roads. Holler me if you need me for anything, Smoot. Me and Jay here, man. Holler at us, bro. You know what I mean? Shout out to the undefeated. Shout out to all the coaches. Shout out to Kyle and Lady T, man. Roll Tide to you all. Be safe, Coach Smoot.
For sure, man.
Roll Tide, undefeated chat.
Roll Tide, Jay. The bros, man. What's good, chat? Yeah, let's get it popping. I ain't gonna lie. I if I look sleepy, it's because I am, y'all. I really had a day. But we back. We here tonight. We doing it, man. Can y'all hear me good? Because I don't have the regular setup. As y'all can see, no green screen tonight. Everything's packed up. Truck's packed up. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Yes, Josh. You know what? I'm so glad to be coming back, but I didn't want to go back home. You get what I'm saying? I'm coming back to grind. I'm not coming back to relax. Like, y'all think I be grinding now? Just wait till I touch foot. I'm excited, y'all. Yeah, what's up, Auntie Janet in the chat? Let's go, man. Megan, how you feeling? She gave a shout out to everybody, all the emotes. Wendy, what's good? David, how you feeling tonight? Mr. Crockett Goofball in the chat. What's up, Sean? What's up, Wade? What's up? Hey, Kimberly in the chat. Let's go. Ephraim says, skip ATL, Smoot, go around that mess trap. Yes, very much so. And I've been through Charlotte and all those different spots before, so I'm ready. I ain't been through Tennessee in about 11 years, so I definitely want to drive through there. I won't see much. It's just a different road, make the trip go by better when you don't know where you're going sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate everybody for the prayers today, too. Everybody that checked in on me. Some of y'all actually Some of y'all that know got my number and stuff. Some of y'all checked on me today. I appreciate that. Everybody that checked on me today. It did get trying, man. My reservation for the vehicle got messed up, and then my wife's client canceled, and we had to change the time. Then they ended up getting a vehicle, and somebody else got the vehicle that was left there for me. So by the time we got there, when it was time to get the vehicle, first of all, I had a charge on my card, had my money held up. That put us behind. So I had to, borrow some money from some friends, do this, do that. But long story short, got there, and the full-size sedan that I had rented, somebody else had drove off with it. Like they ended up renting it to somebody else. So I was like, and I put my head down in my hands, and I said, God, you know what? I ain't gonna trip no more. I said, if I'm supposed to leave tonight, if it's meant for me to go, I'm gonna go. And the guy, he told my wife, he was like, hey, I could upgrade it to this mid-size SUV, and ended up getting a Nissan Rogue. It's a nice one, a lot of space in the back. I got me and my birds hitting the road later on tonight, man. I'm excited. Gonna be pulling up in Tuscaloosa around noon tomorrow, hopefully around that time, and be ready to be on the late night segment tomorrow night. Be ready to jump live tomorrow night from Tuscaloosa. So I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited, ready to take this next step in this next chapter. And my boy Gary Bama for Life said, Smoot coming back to the dirty side. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all, man. Much love. Hey, my boy Jay in the chat, Stephen Angle, Nene Bama, DR334, Joseph Davidson. Come on, man. Juvie 86, Marquita, everybody, man. It's hazy behind me. Yeah, I got my blur on. Y'all want me to turn it off? Let me see. Let me see if I turn the blur off. Cause I got Y'all see the internet line? Look, that look raggedy. Let me see something. Do this work? Do that work? Do that work? Can we rock with that for the night? Just for one segment? Can I rock with that? Do that approve? I'm coming from Virginia, Steve. Coming from Virginia. Clean my lens. No, it ain't my lens. I told y'all it's the Sean said I love weed. Hold on, y'all. They trying to tell me, is it dirty? Oh, you know what? Y'all. You know what? I know what's up. That's why we're not in the game. Y'all right. Y'all on point. You know what? Y'all is on point. Y'all is on point. I love y'all. This is why I love y'all. Y'all always get your boy right. Yeah. We in there now? We better? We better now? We better now? Y'all know what I had to do, right? Yeah. Nah, not me. Not tonight. Not tonight. I'm actually chilling. Now, any other night, but not tonight. I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Much better. Yeah, I had to switch the camera up. I was using the computer camera. I got my webcam hooked up now. Man, let's get into it tonight, man. We don't have a lot to talk about. Y'all know Friday has been quiet for us. We ain't had no recruiting news. The Will Johnson stuff kind of just burned out and fizzled out. And backstory on the Will Johnson, man. Will Johnson rumors and things of that nature. So his dad came out and he was addressing an exact article saying that Will Johnson had been enrolled at Alabama or was on his way to Alabama. And that's what he was saying was cap. He wasn't talking about the possibility of Will Johnson coming or experiencing the portal. It's still up in the air. A lot of people are thinking that he's trying to he wants to graduate early. He's going to be, I think, eligible for graduation this fall, if I'm not mistaken. My camera done went ghetto. Look, it done did it again. See, that's why I don't be using that one. Hold on, let me fix it. All right, we back. But yeah, so looking at it now, I think it's one of those things, man. This is one of those kids and his family. They come from Michigan. They from Michigan. They're kind of tied in. They do want the opportunity for their son to thrive, play for another national championship. But education is a big thing in that family. I honestly think it's a smart decision. Honestly, it kind of keeps me. I would love to have him if he still enters the portal because you don't know what's gonna happen after spring, man. and it's not going to take him long to get acquainted in anybody's defensive scheme. So I'm excited to see what happens with the Will Johnson stuff. But for y'all that was doubting that he could come, it's going to be some leaks coming out soon about, text messages between him and some of the staff, Oklahoma staff. He was really Oklahoma, Miami, Florida State. It was a few people like kind of, that he was, saying that he was interested in. And there was a couple of leaks that was showing that. So it's pretty good to, see some kids still worry about getting their education and stuff. What's up? Black Buster gift card said, get you an oatmeal cream pie at the gas station on me, coach. Facts, bro. I appreciate that $5 super chat, fam. Appreciate you for pulling up. I ain't never seen you in here before. Appreciate the super chat, fam. Much love and roll tide, fam. We're pretty heavy in the secondary. You know what? It's not even. I think we could use a lot more depth, Mike. And Will Johnson will definitely be a big loss for y'all. But I think he sees an opportunity for that team. They keeping the majority of that nucleus together. So I think y'all dudes gonna be straight over there in that secondary. Who's the new? Are they losing? Did y'all lose y'all defensive coordinator? I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I just ran out of water and I'm thirsty. Wait, you caught how he tried to slide that on? And what? Slide what? Who said that? Mike Ford got sapped. No, y'all are done. Wait, what? Y'all are done. Harbaugh's going half your starters from last year going. I don't know, man. Michigan still got a lot of talent on that roster. I can't even. Patriot Life said with the $10 super chat, he said, thank God it's Friday. Smook and the undefeated, man. Much love. Appreciate the $10 super chat. Y'all be going crazy, man. Y'all be feeling good on Friday. Yeah, mental follow Harbaugh. Oh, see, now that's see, now, Mike, you can have the same players, same caliber of players, right? But Mentor has a unique style of play calling with that defense, man. And it's gonna be hard to match. It's gonna be hard to match. So y'all might. See, I don't like that. That Giants and defensive coordinator pickup. I don't like that for y'all. Cause he gonna start trying to, like, if he get gimmicky like he does at that level, it could be bad for the college level. That doesn't translate over time, over a span like that. That's something you have to work in from systematic standpoint. You got to work in foundational, and that's going to take some years to take and to start getting implemented. And you look at the way college football is changing now, man. Sherrod Moore might only have 3 years before they try to bring somebody else in. So, and out goes Sherrod Moore. Maybe it's the new D coordinator too. But let's jump into our defense. Let's talk about Alabama's defense. I want to just touch on a few topics tonight before we get out of here, and y'all enjoy Jake Merrill. He's up after me, so I can't go over my time tonight. I definitely make sure I stay within my time. Let's jump into it. I'm gonna turn this music down just a little bit so y'all can hear me, and then we're gonna get into it. Hey, so let's talk about our defense. Is the Swarm D real? Man, listen, I've had a lot of people. We've been having plenty of talks about Kane Womack and his defensive play calling style and the 4-2-5. A lot of people were saying that it's weak against the run and this and the third. And if you've been hanging around here for a few weeks now, since the hiring of Kane Womack, we've kind of really dove into the Swarm defense. Sean broke it down really nicely, probably about 2 weeks ago. Then Jake Merrill did one last week where he broke it down. And this week we kind of touched on some of the things. But tonight I really want to talk about how real it is and some of the statistics that stand out to me when you talk about Kane Womack's play calling style. So, and this is the same 4-2-5 he ran at Indiana and at South Alabama as primary play caller for the defense, as far as designing the schematics of it and what was implemented. So knowing that he has that experience as a head coach and as a defensive coordinator, still maintaining that primary play calling responsibility for the defense gives me confidence that he's not looking at, what league he's in. He's just a football coach, And I think the whole staff has adapted that same type of mindset. Like Kalen DeBoer said, he doesn't look at this as a challenge. He looks at it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity to seize the moment. It's a new stage. You just keep doing what you've been doing, and that's coaching football and winning. You've always been able to build relationships. You've always been able to recruit players and develop them. everywhere you've been. You're just at Alabama now. You got more resources to do with it. You got more of a solid booster club, alumni support. You got your facilities are better. I mean, everything is top of the line at Alabama. And Kalen DeBoer has just been given the keys. Kane Womack as the same, just as much for the defense. Now you look at the talent. Look at the defensive side. When you talk about is the Swarm D real? I want y'all to think about something. When you think about Swarm, right? When you talk about swarming, what's a characteristic of swarming when you're swarming to something? It's fast, right? And a swarm has to consist of a lot, more than one, more than two. It has to be more, it has to be a group, right? So when we talk about the way this defense is being recruited, you look at some of the players, these 24 guys, these 25 guys that are committed to the University of Alabama. I like to think that they're recruiting to fit that mode of swarming, not necessarily overpowering beefy guys, 6'5", 230, 255, 260, inside linebackers. And, the old school style, you see a lot of athletic builds being molded into this defense. You look at the schematics of how this defense wants to be ran, and you need guys like that. Case in point, guys like Jahad Campbell, Justin Jefferson, Tony Mitchell, Malachi Moore, Peyton Woodard, Tim Smith, Jordan Renard, James Smith, Curtis Perry, Quay Rusog. Who else is rangy? Noah Carter, QB Reese, Sterling Dixon, all those linebackers, Jeremiah Alexander, all these guys that are rangy left to right that can really pursue to the ball, they're going to thrive in this defense. And then you look at the interior defensive linemen and Jaheim Otis, Tim Keenan, Ja Latham. He's going to be playing some of that interior role. I can't wait to see Edric Hill going to be playing some of that interior role. So those guys, they're not going to be, their primary responsibility is not going to be to hold up a gap and maintain a gap. They're going to be, trying to get to the quarterback. Look at the secondary. So much speed in the secondary. For the young guys, you start off with Peyton Woodyard, not Peyton Woodyard, but Jalen Mbakwe. He's probably the fastest guy in the secondary right now, and he's the true freshman. And then you look at Jaleel Hurley. He's a speed guy. A lot of people very deceptive speed. Recovery speed is almost unmatched in that secondary. You look at Peyton Woodyard, Xavier Brown, Zay Mincy. All those guys have some solid speed, man. I think the only place you're lacking is probably Drake Kirkpatrick. Not as much straight line speed, but very high IQ, very instinctive. Something that he can develop, continue to develop in is that speed training. Once he gets into that and learning how to, adjust his hips and create explosive force when he's moving, that's when Drake Kirkpatrick is going to take the next step, because ball play skills, IQ, instincts is all there. So yes, with this Swarm D is real. This will be a real thing. It's not a gimmick. You look at the players on that side of the ball, man, it's a bunch of headhunters. You talking about, man, we might have, I don't know how many targeting calls we might end up having this year, because you got guys like Malachi Moore, Devontae Smith, Tony Mitchell, Brayson Hubbard. Those guys going to be rotating it in the box safeties. Peyton Woodard and Sab at free safety, they like to come downhill. Like I'm telling y'all, and a lot of people, we can talk about that too. A lot of people think Sab is going to come in and play Husky or Rover. He very well might, but I think for this defense and what you have already on the roster, you move those two guys in Malachi Moore, Devontae Smith, or Tony Mitchell. You move those set of guys, those Husky and Rovers. You put those three guys in the box, and you really solidify everything underneath, and you allow Sab to do something that he does very well, and that's rove and cover over top. A lot of range, lovely ball play skills. I mean, knows how to determine leverage based off formations, know how to dissect routes, in the second and third phase, gets into the cover. I mean, has a high coverage grade. So was the number 3 PFF rated safety in the nation. So I mean, out of the portal, it's just you can't complain about what's been added to this team. And then I didn't say anything about Damani Jackson. I'm really excited about Damani Jackson. I was able to, and a lot of y'all were really on to me about being so hard on Damani Jackson. It was warranted. You don't perform like you did in high school, at that level and show those type of skill sets, and then get to the college level and have the play, the display that you've had. But you're going to look at the scheme that USC, it didn't help him out. So, yeah, he get a pass. I'm ready to see him revitalize his name, his image on the field, because I feel like if he does take into that teaching and that tutelage and really get that fire back, he could be a first-round draft pick after this season. Damani Jackson is that good. I mean, we've already talked about it. I said he has the potential. But I go back to the high school film and I'm like, okay, if we can get that guy back with and he's adjusted to the college speed, oh yeah, he can be nasty. So I'm actually excited for Damani Jackson. I'm hoping that he can turn it around, guys. Shout out to the 215 in the chat tonight. We appreciate y'all for hanging out and holding it down. Mike, how many natties have you witnessed? Wait, who is Mike? Where's Mike at? Oh, y'all got to get out my boy Mike. Ephraim Davis, my bad. I read it wrong. He's going to Nevada. Who's going to Nevada? I was at U of M for the 97 one. What happened? Y'all be acting up, man. It's the content of our character. Oh, y'all tripping, man. But yeah, so yeah, I like what this defense is looking like. I think we're going to be set. I think it's going to be a progressive thing, but not to the effect of we're going to be giving up 21 points a game. I think early on we'll look very dominant. We probably won't see our first test. We'll see it at USF. I think USF is going to try to test our secondary a lot. I think they're going to put the ball in the air a lot. They want to be high power. They want to be fast. So I think they'll run up tempo. So we'll get a good look against USF, even though the talent gap is there. I think you're still going to get a good look. And then Wisconsin, we'll see more of a balanced style, more safeties in the box, right? A lot of closer to line of scrimmage play with our secondary and run support, run field guys. So a lot of slanting, a lot of stunting with the defensive front. So I'm excited to see all of that, y'all. Let's jump up. Who's up now? All right. We're going to talk about the quarterback and the cornerback positions tonight for our Who's Up Now segment. And in this segment, we want to talk about basically who's the guy right now. We're going to make a case for everybody in the room. We kind of did it. Was that earlier today or yesterday? I think we kind of did it yesterday for the quarterbacks. But let's do it for let's go in depth with it. Let's do it for the quarterbacks, and then we'll do it for the cornerbacks. And we'll go through each quarterback. So we'll spend like 2 minutes on each quarterback, saying why they up now and why it could be their time. And in the chat, we can kind of vote based off of my takes who can be now. Listen, it's kind of like a campaign. I'm campaigning for all the quarterbacks, and then based off of how I campaign for them, and I'm only stating realistic facts and realistic projections. So no real reality or reach. Just we're being realistic, okay? So who's up now? Let's start at the quarterback position. Started with Jalen Milroe. Who's up now? Jalen Milroe's up now. One, because you've seen his leadership ability last year. Coming into this first year as a full-time starter, not really familiar with this style of play calling, not having the support on the offensive line, especially, through the first quarter of the season, after being benched, or not necessarily benched, but after, he was benched. We could say he was benched after being benched, and, having the team, rally behind him the way he came back last year and began to progress. I mean, multiple games where his completion percentage was, the highest in the nation at some weeks. And then my thing is with Jalen Milroe, the inconsistency and being able to see the check downs, the inconsistency of stepping up in the pocket, not keeping his eyes downfield and scanning while his eyes are downfield. Those things have to be fixed. And I think they can be in this style of play, in this style of offense. They will be. So for that reason, Jalen Milroe's up now. Now, Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson is up now because Ty Simpson is born and bred for this doggone offense. If there was ever offense that needed to showcase Ty Simpson's skills and his what we call special, his it factors, it would be this style of offense. And I'm gonna tell you why. Ty Simpson has the baseball background, but he also has that coach's son background. So Kalen DeBoer and the way that he talks, the language that he speaks when he's introducing his office, is going to be second nature to Ty Simpson. Some of these terminology and things that's going to be presented, Jalen Merrill is going to have to take his time to learn it and adjust, right? So it's going to be extra work for him to put in and having to learn these terminology. But Ty Simpson, a lot of these things are going to translate from what he learned in high school and you know what he's retained from his father, going back to those camps where his father kind of teach the phases of this style of offense to other young kids. So it's going to be second nature to him. And my thing is, how consistent can you be, Ty Simpson? Can you protect the ball? Can you be decisive about your throws? Can you not throw in the double coverage and try to force passes that aren't there? How mature have you gotten? So other than that, Ty Simpson, the mechanics, the arm talent is there, the athleticism is there. Everything that you need in the quarterback to play in this style is there. So I could really see Ty Simpson being up now. Now, jumping down to QB3 on the roster, and I'm going to do it out of respect and in this order. Dylan Lonergan. My guy Dylan Lonergan will be a sophomore this year. Dylan Lonergan, another guy, baseball guy, another guy with the crazy arm talent, a lot of size. I think this kid is probably, 6'3", 6'4", Dylan Lonergan. 220, 225, bigger kid. I think Dylan Lonergan is poised for if the baton was handed to him, if the torch was passed to him to be the starter, Dylan Lonergan would be up now because of the simple fact that he has that baseball player's mentality. The moment never can get too big for him. Shout out to one of the fellas from the other show I used to be on. They used to always highlight about Dylan Lonergan and that mentality. And you look at some of the guys in college like Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield and Jameis Winston, all these guys that played baseball, that had that baseball experience, they had this different type of this different type of ability to perform under pressure. And I think that's what Dylan Lonergan possesses. That's why he can go out in spring practice and spring games and fall camp and just sling it and not worry about whatever else happens after that, because it's just another day to him. And whenever it's his time, I think he's going to be ready. So for that reason, if Dylan Lonergan was given the opportunity, I think he would make a good case for being a starter. Austin Mack, we go to the 6'6", 240-pound redshirt sophomore coming in from Washington, the transfer. He actually reclassified a year early, was in the 24 class, reclassed to 23, and was with Washington and got redshirted this year. So this year this year coming up, he'll be a redshirt freshman. And I can't wait to see what this kid develops into. The reason why he's up now, though, is because, one, pure athleticism. Two, he has the QB awareness. He has the vision, the extended playmaking ability. Three, this system is something that he's literally was forced to sit down and learn about for a whole 12 to 16 months, we could say, right? Because he enrolled early after reclassifying early. So for about a little over a year, he's had nothing but straightforward. This is how we run this. This is what we're looking for. This is why we're looking for it. And he's a smart young man for him to be able to reclassify, graduate early, and enroll at the University of Washington, and then transfer to the University of Alabama without having to take any summer classes or anything to catch up. As a matter of fact, he's enrolled because he wants to get ahead, which is awesome to me. I love that. So Austin Mack on the field, I mean, talented guy. You can't really ask him to do much more other than to continue to develop. And I think one thing with him is he has to trust. He's going to have to learn to trust his protection at the college level, because there's going to be a lot of mess around the lower area, around the legs. And usually with tall guys, that's where you get them at. If you're rolling around their legs and ankles, you get them kind of off of that platform when they're falling through. He's going to have to learn to trust at this level that things are going to be close to him. But he can trust his teammates for the most part. I can't wait to see him in spring ball, guys. I'm ready to see Austin Mack do what he's going to do. I think he's going to end up being the next guy. If Ty Simpson stays and competes, Ty Simpson will be the guy, and Austin Mack will only need 1 year. And this will be a school where 1 year does a lot of these guys good because of how productive this offense can be. So I'm excited. Oh, let's jump to the cornerback side, y'all. And how much time we got? Yeah, I'm staying on time. We got about 20 minutes left. As a matter of fact, I need some water. Baby, Is some water over there? I need some water. Let me see. Look, my other look, y'all know what I be doing. I be trying. Oh, there you go. It was froze, y'all. The water froze. It was froze, so I had to trying to let it thaw out. This is the one I'm gonna have on the road. I keep a good cold bottle of water. Yeah, I do need a nap, don't I? I just looked at myself and I look sleepy in the mud, don't it? What y'all laughing about, man? That boy said darts. Who played darts? Who on the darts team? Somebody said something about some zesty. Has KD been to Archibald's yet? I don't know. I don't know. Simpson is just right for this offense. Yeah, he is. He really is. Marquita Max Savage. Hey, yeah, he is. Marquita. Marquita. Mac is cold, y'all. I don't know if y'all was here that day we watched this film. As a matter of fact, Ty Buckner. What about Ty Buckner? Ty Buckner back at Notre Dame, man. Or is that man? Did he go back to Notre Dame? Is he on this lacrosse team for real? Let me tell y'all. So this ain't no shade, but y'all know where I came from, right? And this is what started the whole transition phase, right? This is where it really began. When there was a debate about Ty Buckner being the viable option, right? And I did this troll, like trying to sell them on, Ty Buckner, and I trolled it so bad. Right? Oh, girls softball team won. Softball team won today. Roll Tide, y'all. I plan on going to the basketball game. I think it's a women's basketball game Sunday. I plan on doing a lot of stuff within the first 48 hours while I'm down there, and then I'm gonna pass out for like half a day. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. But let's jump into some reality or reach, man. I'm gonna let y'all feed them to me from the chat tonight, just because this is a special occasion. This is my last live stream here in the state of Virginia, my last segment here. The next time you all see me, I will be coming to you all from somewhere in Alabama. Oh, we do got some super chats. Oh no, we don't. Not super chats. We got some reality or reaches. Let me see. I'm in the wrong email, y'all. Oh, we ain't getting none. Y'all so ghetto. Come on, let's get it. Y'all so ghetto, undefeated. So, hey, what we gonna do? Reality or reach? Let's start on the defensive side. Let's do some. Yeah, Marquita, I got a few spots I gotta go check out tomorrow and Monday. I'm not gonna make it down there tomorrow to handle business. I might, most of them places was closing at like 1:30, 2 o'clock, so I might not make it. But let's start on the offensive side. Reality or reach? Y'all know we love to do the projections games, all of this stuff. So reality or reach? Let's start on the offensive line. Is this realistic or am I tripping? That's how we're gonna go into this one. Realistic or tripping? Left tackle Elijah Pritchett, left guard Tyler Booker. No, stop. Left tackle Wilkin Formby, left guard Tyler Booker, center Parker's Belford, right guard Rock Montgomery, and right tackle Jaden Roberts. Realistic or reach that we see that be the first offensive line trot out against Western Kentucky? And yes, you heard me right. I've seen some people saying that Jaden Roberts might go to right tackle. So I'm throwing it out there. I don't believe that's what is gonna happen. Wade, you so dirty. You so dirty. Oh, Wade, you's a dirty man. Y'all, we gonna let y'all Wade acting up. Don't pay attention to nothing he's saying the rest of the night. We gonna Marvin said realistic. Kayla said reality. Auntie Jenna said reality. Stephen Angus said tripping. You don't see. I said they was tripping too, man, because I don't think they moving Jaden Roberts from guard and leaving Booker at guard and moving Jaden Roberts to tackle. I don't think it's gonna happen. Not in this offense. Reality, realistic, goofball. I mean, like I've been saying, I don't know what this offensive line coach Chris Kaplovic is gonna want out of his skill sets now. You know, I think right now we probably have the most athletic offensive line, where guys can kind of play both guard and tackle. It might be a surprise to see, like, you might see him go heavy interior and athletic exterior, meaning your tackles maybe Booker and Roberts. You know, those are probably your two most athletic offensive linemen. So you want them on the edge. You might put two maulers such as Casey Poe and Rock Montgomery, or a shoot, man, who else can play guard? Jesus Christ, man. Olani, you put him at guard. And of course, Parker Brailsford is probably your lead man at center, but you got Rock Montgomery probably playing behind him on a rotational basis. That way, if anything was to happen, you just got guys that kind of slide left or right to fill in from that side of the line. And that's usually how they build it up. So I would not be surprised to see that lineup. But me personally, if I had to go, hey, that's why I said Steven. I think he is. But like I said, I've heard a lot of people saying that it's a possibility he gets moved to tackle. You know, I that's what I've been hearing. So yeah. So reality or reach. Let's move on to another one. Still on the offensive side. Let's get a player. Give me one of the wide receivers. Give me one wide receiver. First person to give me one wide receiver on the roster, and I'll do a reality or reach. Nah, Chance, I don't think so. I think Brockemeyer is kind of behind. Prentice. Oh, I see Bernard first. Bernard. I seen Bernard. I'll do both. Bernard. All right, reality or reach. Jeremy Bernard will have 3 kick returns or a total of 3 return touchdowns this year. A total of 3 return touchdowns. Reality or reach for Jeremy Bernard. Because he's going to do special teams. He's going to have return responsibility. Reality or reach for Jeremy Bernard. 3 return touchdowns for the season. Reality or reach. Wade's Well says reach. George says reality. William Dansby said reality. A lot of reaches. Mike Ford. Massive reach. Mike Ford. He said reach. All right, I got to do it to y'all. Because y'all, I don't think y'all. I don't think y'all know what's happening right here. We're just gonna look at the highlights from his senior year. This is Jeremy Bernard's senior year highlights, right? He's fast. He's fast. He's fast, y'all. He's fast, y'all. That's what I'm saying. Like, and he's only gotten faster since he's got in college. He's fast. Here go punt return. This is high school. Look at these midgets. Oh my God. Why everybody looks so little compared to Uh-oh. Make something out of nothing. Make something out of nothing. Uh-oh. Oh, that should have been picked too. That's the one. Uh-oh. Instincts. He got speed. Nobody catching him. Nobody catching him. And nobody catching him, boss. And nobody catching him. I'm just saying, y'all. I mean, I'm just saying, y'all. It would not surprise me if he did, right? It would not surprise me if he did. It's really not. Cyrus Jones had 4. Cyrus Jones had 4 in the season. He had 2, almost had 2 in the game. Hey, DR334, it happens in high school, but you got to think, what's most of your special teams consist of? your freshmen, your second string, your third string guys, right? That's what most special teams consist of. You put a guy like Jeremy Bernard out there with your third string, your freshman. Oh yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, man, y'all better be careful. I say it's a reality. I'm gonna disagree with y'all, the reachers. I'm gonna say it's a reality. The water is as cold as ice. Roll Tide. What's up, Rich B? How you feeling? I'm trying to see if Jake Merrill done popped up in the back yet. Y'all got Jake Merrill after me, man. What's another one? What other name I saw in here a minute ago? Kobe Prentice. Kobe Prentice. All right, let me talk about Kobe Prentice. Reality or reach. Kobe Prentice will have 60 plus receptions this year. Reality or reach. 60 plus receptions by Kobe Prentice. Mind you, you had two receivers at Washington last year that had more than you had 3 receivers at Washington that had 60 plus catches. So, reality or reach, Kobe Prentice with the 60 plus catches this season. Kobe Prentice, starting it up now. Coach Smook, who do you think returns punts? Why y'all answer the reality or reach? I think this year returning punts, I don't think it's gonna be Ryan Williams. I think it's gonna be, like I said, Jeremy Bernard, Kendrick Law, Emmanuel Henderson, Cole Adams. Those guys are going to get opportunities to return punts and kicks early on. And I think some young guys, they might let Mbakwe get out there and try kick return, punt return. We might, they might let him do it since he's going to be in the secondary. That might be like his way to earn his way on the field to be on punt return. But I think kick return is probably going to be Bernard and Kendrick Law. So what we said, Kobe Prentice 60 plus. Let me see. A lot of realities. Okay, yeah, I like that. I think it's real too. Yeah. I'm on the line about 60 catches. All right, so check this out. I'm thinking maybe in this style of offense, Kobe Prentice at the Z position is going to be a primary target. Washington targeted their Z in the pass scale 48% of the time or something like that. The X was targeted 24%. The Y, the slot receivers were targeted about, 18 to 21%. And all 10-man personnel sets, they were I got to find them doggone graphs. But yeah, they was talking about what areas of the field get targeted. And the Z is like your extension of your run game, pass play. The Z is your quick screen. Your Z is your hot route read a lot of times because you're stacking him with the slot. You're putting him as the boundary guy in your trip sets. You're giving him X-ray motion or Z-ray motion, orbit. The Z is going to be active. So because of that, I think Kobe Prentice has the opportunity to have like a production or be fed like the year. I want to say like Jalen Hurts year when Jalen Hurts had like 3 guys that he was his primary go-to guys. But I think this offense will be explosive. Kobe Prentice will be one of the leaders on this offense with his stats. 60 plus is not out of reach, in my opinion. What he said, Coach Mook, do a reality or reach on tight ends. Bet we'll run it. Let me do Rich B. Odom. So Odom will have reality or reach. Odom will have 3 touchdowns this year. Freshman year, Caleb Odom will have 3 touchdowns this year. Reality or reach. And then we'll jump to the tight ends, Eddie. Reach. Okay. Look. Reach. Okay. And remember, say why. Why? Eddie Wesley says reality. Waysworld says, reality for sure. Emmanuel, I think you're thinking about what I'm thinking about when it comes to Odom. We got reality. Janet says reality. Josh says reality. Odom said, Caitlin says Odom reality. Mike Force says reality. Moonrocker says reality. Imex says reality. I think it depends on how many receivers deep they go for Prentice. And that's the thing. I think he's one of your mainstays that's going to get like 40% of the snaps at that position. And yeah. But look, you think you're going to have more? Me too. I'm going to tell you why. So, and this is why I say it's a reality. And in this offense, Kalen DeBoer is traditionally in the red zone. That's 20 and in. A lot of coaches consider 25 and in more so the red zone. Once you get in those tighter condensed spaces, you want bodies, right? And with Caleb Odom going out to the X, it frees you up to put guys like Danny Lewis, CJ Dupree, and Jay Lindsey or Josh Cuevas, right? Robbie Oots. You get to put those 3 guys on the field with your 13 personnel, right? And you could split Caleb Odom as an ISO X to be one-on-one, right? Right? He'll be one-on-one, true one-on-one, because you got to fill the box, so we're going to run on you. So you go 3 tight ends, 1 receiver, 1 back, and you got a crazy mismatch set because safeties not many safeties can hang with Danny Lewis. You put a smaller corner on CJ Dupree, he gonna body him. So I think it's a good thing that you got this much diversity on the offensive side. So for that reason, I said Caleb Odom might get multiple opportunities in the red zone as the big X receiver to do a couple jump ball plays. Him and Jalen Hill will have a lot of opportunities in the jump ball game because they're going to get a lot of one-on-ones because of the formations and how things motion and shift. They're going to get a lot of one-on-one opportunities, and I can't wait to see them explode and have fun with them. Tight end room. Let me see. CJ Dupree. Let's start with CJ Dupree for the tight end room. Reality or reach in the tight end room. All right. CJ Dupree. He only had like 140 something receiving, 212 receiving yards, something like that last year. CJ Dupree will have 20 plus receptions this year. Reality or reach? What Wade said about Odom? Yeah, I think Odom going. I don't think he's gonna need a lot of snaps either. He's gonna be key when he goes in the game. It's not gonna be a decoy look. It probably will be later in the season because it's gonna be so effective. So when he goes out there on the field, if he could start, if you start putting a safety out there to help the corner, that's when it's working. Because now you pull one guy out the box and now you have a little bit of advantage. Everybody saying reality for CJ Dupree. Okay, I see 1 reach. I said 20 plus catches. 20 plus catches. Y'all don't think CJ Dupree can get 20 catches? Don't think he sees the field too much? Oh, wow. CJ Dupree was getting 2nd round draft grades last year. Yeah, man. I think it's so like I'm with you, Caitlin. It's so much to prove this year. Definitely 20, 30 catches if he starts. Exactly. And even if he doesn't, you got to think the starter, if it's Danny Lewis is going to have 40 plus catches, right? The second tight end on that roster had 24 catches. So I think it's going to be the distribution and the play calling is going to be similar, y'all. Uncle Jay said reach. Yeah, man. Okay. You ready? Come on, bro. What time is it? Yeah, come on in here, bro. Let me get you right. Hold on. Let me get the right one. Boom. Hey, and coming to the stage, man. Y'all know my bro. He gonna come in and pull off the undefeated chat talk with me, and we're gonna pass it to him. My bro, Jake Merrill.
What up?
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, fix your camera. Look, this our living room. We could have mistakes and stuff. They're not gonna judge us because our show was on the wrong camera earlier.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, it's awesome, man. I love being here. What's up? Undefeated. How you guys doing tonight? A little different change up in the schedule for sure.
Yeah, man.
Because typically this is your segment, Coach Smook. You're the closer.
Hey, you got it tonight, man.
That's right, man.
And this is it's a little pressure, man, because it's. You want me to tell you why?
What's up?
Because I was already talking about defense, and I know you want to talk about defense.
Woo. Ooh.
So
no,
I didn't really get into it though. I was just talking about how I believe that the swarm defense is real for this skill set of players. I was talking about how I think we touched on a little bit the build of guys that they're looking at the linebacker position, the type of safeties that they're recruiting and going after in the 25 or 26 class. The defensive tackles aren't big old 300-pound guys. They're 290, 280. Like guys that are already kind of filled out into they physique, and they're college ready. I think this is going to be the last year we see the seniority rules thing with this Bama team. It's going to be a lot of young talents in the field for the years to come.
Oh, for sure, man. Like I think that's what's going to be wild too, man. Is like you and me had a really good conversation on this, and if you guys didn't catch me and Smook doing Chalk Talk, a lot of people liked it. Sounded like it was awesome. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time, and then after we did a little bit of Chalk Talk, we got into some of these details of these players, right? And it's wild if you think about this, right? And it's wild to think about like how good these dudes are gonna be. Like this team. I mean, you potentially. I'll say it like, and I'm full on potentially with this defensive backfield. You got 3, 8. We get way out there. You got potentially 4 like first rounders coming out of that DB room in this freshman class.
Man, hey, don't you're not stretching it. This is a day and age, man. If this group of guys stay together, there will be 4 guys going the first round. They especially the way the landscape of the NFL is changing. There's a new age of defensive backs coming. The guard is changing. Norman and all those guys, Diggs and all those, they're getting old, man. They're getting old. They're 30s now. They're in their 30s. They're on the downside. The new era of DBs is coming, and so you're going to start seeing a lot of teams. It's the same thing with quarterbacks. You just recently saw it with quarterbacks in the past 6 or 7 years, right? Now it's going to transition to 2 other groups, and I think right now we're seeing it happen with running backs and the secondary position in the NFL level. Rich B with the 1999 super chat, he said this is the duo right here, Smook and Merrill. Listen, y'all got to understand, it's kind of become a competition now, and it's like not even set because we don't have like set teams that we come on with or do segments with. It's kind of like off a vibe. But when we see like that is a duo on the schedule, I feel like we have like this competitive edge to bring the fire. And so bro, every time, and Coach Sean and Coach Jay, they brought the fire before. So in our undefeated chat talk, I'm gonna give the chat one question to ask us, and you can go first, and then I'm gonna give my answer and close out and leave you alone and let you have a night so I can get some rest and get on this road, man.
I get you, man. I get you. You got to have a safe drive too, man. That's a big thing. Dude, I have done that drive, everybody. I have driven from Gardendale, Alabama, back to Washington. Yeah, I've seen the drive is long, but do you think, Coach Smook? For sure, man.
Yeah, man. You know what's crazy? Like I could do trips. I could do long trips, like the 10+ hour trips. I'm up for those. It's the 1.5 to 3 hour trips that I can't stand. I don't know what it is about the short trips. Like when I used to have to drive from Montgomery to Phoenix City when I was in college, like I hated that trip. And I would make it like with my eyes closed. I remember going to the club, leaving the club at 3:00 in the morning on Sunday morning, getting to Columbus about, 5 o'clock, if not 4:30, because I used to be speeding around that time of morning, and pull up in my parents' driveway, sleep in the car till about 6:30. Then I see the light go off on the front porch, so I know I can go in the house now. Use my key, go in the house, shower, go to church. Then leave church and drive back up the street to Montgomery. I just couldn't stand that trip, man.
Nah, dude. Yeah.
Let me see. I think we gotta. Did we get one? We didn't get one. Hey, so listen. So if y'all ain't got nothing else for us, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get out the way once again. Appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight for the Smook Scoop. If you don't already, hit your boy with a follow. Let me see where I'm at on Twitter. I need some more followers, y'all. We growing though. I be one of my followers.
You're doing great.
3.4K. We had 3.4K. So we are ways away from 5, y'all. We're ways away from 5. So let's keep going. Let's keep growing. Don't forget, run the likes up on the channel, on the live. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. If you want to become a fan funder, Meryl will tell you how to do that. And I'm out of here, man. Next time you see me on a live stream, I will be in the great state of Alabama, man. So much love, everybody. Roll Tide. Jake, handing the keys over to you, man. Take it easy, brother.
I appreciate it. Hey, Coach Smook, drive safe.
Already, man.
Have a fun trip, man. And I know everybody's excited to see you deep in the South and Alabama, everybody. I love it, man.
Sir.
I love it. Back to Tuscaloosa, we roll, bro.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Carla, Auntie Janet, DR334, Mike, Sean, everybody, man. Marquita, who else? Jeremy in the chat, man. Everybody that's wishing me well, Eddie, everybody, man. Much love, Roll Tide. Everybody, undefeated. I love y'all, man. See y'all tomorrow night. And I'm out, man. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, dog. I love it, man. I love it. Coach Smook, everybody. Coach Smook. Man, just he's so awesome. I love all the coaches on here today. And we're going to go through a recap of what kind of went down today here at Bama Football on YouTube. We're also going to jump into some of my subjects, too. Really excited. First and foremost, what is up? Undefeated. I know you guys get pumped up, and I know you love Coach Smook. So let's turn the music up a little bit and give y'all a what's up and shout out to everybody in there, right? Here we go, everybody. Let's see here. All right. We got, I've seen it already. We got Marquita's in here, DR334, Matt Farms, what's up? Emmanuel, what's going on? Wendy, what's up? Rich B, what's going on? Jermaine Mims, my man, what's up? Mike Ford, how you doing, my friend? My friend Caitlin Ingle, yo, Sean Williams, what's going on? Nicole, I saw you in here earlier. Eddie Wesley, what's up? Max 3D, you the man. Steven Angle, what's up? What's going on? Carla M. Bailey, how you doing tonight? Windy 6, what's going on? Wade's World, man, appreciate that. Late take with Jake tonight. Jay Townsend, what's going on, my friend? Janet, how are you? Saw you earlier today. I'm glad you loved the episode, man. It was a lot of fun, the segment earlier today. I just love you guys being in here. Jor, what's going on? Not tonight. Not bedtime yet. Goofball, what's up? Brian Russell, what is going on? Janet, see you again. Kate, Spray, Juan, love it, man. Lennox, what's up, man? What's up? How you doing? Rich B, we appreciate you 100% with that super chat. That was awesome of you, man. Absolutely love it. Sean Williams, what's going on? Let's see. We got a bunch of people. Joshua Ray in here. I love it. Nicole, we already got you too. Yeah, we got a whole bunch of people in here tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I just really appreciate you guys 100%. I'll tell you that. And it's been cool. Absolutely love it. You guys have been great to me, nonstop. And we got some subjects to jump into tonight, but also just a recap on the day, right? We've had a long day. We've got into a lot of good stuff. It's been a lot of fun. I enjoyed it 100%. Absolutely. Moonrocker, what's up? MJ, what's going on? Eddie Wesley, what's going on? Andrew, yo. Josh Smith, how you doing, man? And Joseph Davidson, what's up? So, and Kimberly, I see you in here too, and John M. So it's been a good day. I absolutely love it. Juvie, I know you just sent something out. Let's get this up on the screen. Yo, Smook, what's good? Fam, congrats on the move back to Bama. Praying for you and your family a safe trip to Bama, bro. Roll Tide. Appreciate you, Juvie, for that $5 super chat, and shout out to Coach Smook. We all want to make sure he has a safe trip. I know he's going to do awesome down there, right? He's going to have a great time, right? Great time. He's going to get those connections, maybe get to meet some of y'all too. That's going to be awesome. I'm excited for him. I really am. I saw a question in here earlier. Coach Smook, when, or Coach Merrill, when you coming, right? When you coming, Merrill? I don't know yet. You know what I mean? I've lived down there before. Like I said, Gardendale, Fultondale area. I love Trustful. Trustville for me, man. I love that place, and I could see myself eventually heading back there. So we will see, for sure. We will see, and I appreciate you again, 100%. Juvie, you're the man, and that's cool to shout out Coach Smook too, 100. So today we talked about a whole bunch of stuff, right? A whole bunch of stuff, and Janet, I appreciate that you enjoyed that today. With earlier's kind of segment. Earlier, we talked about the DB room a lot. I know Coach Smook was talking about defense, and we talked about the DB room a lot. And now with Keon Sabb here, what does it look like, right? And how's it break down? We got into that earlier today. We did at the end talk about an interesting thing that I read, and I want to see your guys' opinions on these too, right? And article I read, and I said I would bring it to y'all, and that was, I think, A to Z Sports, right? And the article was Nick Saban is making a mistake that's going to harm Alabama football. And the article discussed in that, right? It discussed, why Nick Saban's still around was really difficult. So I want to get into that a little bit tonight, and we can talk about that. I talked about it towards the end of my segment earlier today, but we definitely wanted to get into that and just enjoy it and get you guys' opinions too on what you guys think. We got some fun stuff too with the 24 class awards, recruiting class, just freshmen. We're not going to do the transfers. We can do them too if you guys want to, right? But I can say this. It's going to be fun. I'm interested to see your guys' points and who you think deserves some of these fun little awards that we want to like verbally hand out, right? And then we got coaches versus players leaving. A lot of stuff today. Interestingly enough, you've heard from some of the other coaches. All right, very interesting. Very interesting as far as the NCAA, right, and the ruling that happened earlier today with or I think it was today with Tennessee. Right. We also had another interesting coach take off to Atlanta Falcons and Paul Constantine. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But let's recap today for everybody today. Right. And so earlier today, right. Yeah, this is live with your man, the man, Kyle Henderson, right? And I got to say, Kyle's the man. He's great. He's phenomenal. And with that being said, too, make sure, you run the thumbs up, subscribe, become a fan funder. And the reason I say that is there's exclusive content and there's all sorts of great things you can see. That there's a great article again by Ty Hayes that I talked about. Me and Ty actually did something today for you guys who are fan funders on the offensive line. And there's a key little piece in there too, right? That was that a little snippet that you guys would like, a little egg in there, right? That I think you guys would really enjoy. And we went on. I mean, it was a good 20-25 minute conversation. But I'll tell you what, you guys I think would really, really like the fan funder videos. They're exclusive just for fan funders. So join up. And for those who maybe theirs expired a little bit, jump back on it. You can do that. It's pretty easy. All you got to select is the Bama football play button icon, right? Bama football play button icon. All right. And select that. And there's links in there. You can see also at the bottom of the screen as it rolls through there, hit the hyperlink to become a fan funder. So definitely jump in on that. We want to continue to bring you guys awesome content kind of behind the scenes and continue to bring you these great segments. I know you guys enjoy it, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. I also saw Patriot Life in here. Man, Patriot Life, you are the man. Always enjoy you, man. Always enjoy you when you jump in here. 100%. He's always gifting. Fan funders. I love that, man. You are great. Appreciate that, along with everybody else in the Undefeated. It's just been a fun, overall great day. But to recap, going back, right, you had Kyle this morning talking about how the fourth quarter is lit. Right? That fourth quarter program is lit. We're seeing all those hype videos come out. It is so fun to watch. I mean, do you guys like that? Do you guys love watching the hype videos coming out right now from Alabama football and the training behind the scenes? I mean, you guys like that? I know I do, man. I know I do. I tell you, like, this is the thing when it comes down. You know what I mean? I love that stuff. Like, I love seeing these hype videos. I love seeing these guys perform. I love seeing these guys come out there and just work. And if you saw like what Kane Womack said on it too, like straight up, he's just like, hey, y'all just work. Come out and work. Like nothing else right now. Just work. I love that stuff. What they're doing with the media and really rocking this Alabama football pre-spring, right? Pre-fall ball, pre-season stuff. I love what they're doing. I think it's spot on. I think it's cool. I think we're seeing these guys. I mean, you are for sure seeing some dudes in there right now who've been hitting the gym. That's for sure. I love that, man. I know they're doing that hard work. Right? It's pretty wild, and it's cool, man. And I'm all about that stuff. And Matt Farms, I totally saw this comment you said. Coach Saban gonna superhero college football, save college football, save the world. He might broker a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia in his spare time. Man, hey, I like that, Matt. That's good, man. Maybe we'll see, but yeah, I read the article, and we're going to talk about that too with Saban, and that's part of the news for today. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good one, Matt. I like that, man. That's good stuff. And there's just been so much, but that fourth quarter stuff, man, I am all about it. I am all about it. Okay. And as we go through the evening into this late night, right? I'll tell you, I'm going to get to you. You guys got questions, throw them out there. The super chats are great. Absolutely love them. They let me see what your questions are. They pop up real quick. And on top of that, if you do got other questions, throw them out there, and I'm going to try to get to them in the chat as I go. That's probably why you're going to see my head going back and forth, trying to get in and see what's going on and also see what you guys have to say. So I love it. But yeah, it was interesting. Like to see all these videos coming out with the fourth quarter program. It just, I'm ready to roll. I think a lot of these guys are, man. Like they're so dedicated. No more talk, just work. No more talk, just work. You know, and we weren't doing much talk anyways, but I'll say this, is it's all just about work right now. And they're in this mindset. And I saw an interesting thing too, that Coach KD said that everybody's kind of in that same grind right now, right? KD, with what happened in national championship and not being able to win it all, right? And then you have the facts of the players with Alabama being right there right on the edge of getting to the national championship this last season, right there, and not making it. And so, man, I'll tell you, man, like it's pretty interesting, like to think of those two mindsets coming together and bringing it, and they're just ready to get after it. I love it, man. I absolutely love that. It's pretty sweet. We also talked about, what's the biggest question in the spring. And there's so much, there's so much. And I'll tell you, like, we could look at different things all over the place from a standpoint of calling out different position groups. We could look at these aspects over here. I'm just excited to see the guys compete in spring ball. I think that's one of the most exciting things there are, right? Is with spring ball, you get to go out there, and especially with this kind of, I don't know if you guys feel that, but this new energy, right? There's just this energy out there where guys just want to show up and show out. I love that. So, I'm gonna tell you, man, this is good stuff. Ready for spring ball, ready to see these dudes just get after it. Just get after it in spring ball. And then we look at, like, we talked a little bit, and Coach Sean talked about this earlier today on his segment with just my humble opinion. Love Coach Sean. I love his segments, man. The golden voice. I love that guy, Coach Sean, everybody. But he talked about this too. Was with Juju Lewis, this quarterback, highly touted quarterback, coming to visit T-Town, right? And I absolutely love the fact that we are seeing these recruits just being. I mean, they're really talking. We're seeing some big names, man, talking about some Alabama football. And I think they feel it too. I don't think this is just like a simple, hey, we're doing all right, everybody. No, this is like, hey, we're here. Yeah, we're here. Y'all want to come here. This is the place to be. All right. And it's funny to see the fact that we got these guys, right, who are just dogs ready to do this work, man, and getting after it. And other players and these recruits are noticing it. And they're seeing that too, and they're feeling that energy. So you got a guy like Juju Lewis, man, like just phenomenal stud. Coach Sean earlier today, like I said, on a segment. If you didn't catch it, you can always go back and watch those other segments, those other kind of our morning session, right? The morning episodes, right? And you can go back and rewatch those later, and it's pretty cool, man. Like I love that stuff, and I love the fact that when we get back and we get to watch some of those, we get to hear the Coach Sean, we get to hear Kyle, we hear Coach Smoot go through. We get to hear Ty Hayes. Ty did a great job, and we're getting his stuff too. But we get to hear them all break down, and Coach Sean did such a good job of breaking down Juju and talking about his numbers. And you should go listen to that, because I'll tell you, his numbers were just phenomenal. Juju Lewis's numbers, like they were great. And Matt Farms, hey Juju, you want to win a championship? Come to Alabama. I mean, and there's been recruits who straight up said it. They said it. You want to win a championship, you go to Alabama. And they feel that, man. They feel like that's still here with Coach KD. And I respect that, man. I respect that, like 100%. And I'm interested to see how his recruiting kind of goes, right? Right now, I think he's, looking at like USC, right? And Jeremy Sanders, gonna flip one of the 4 QB flip targets. I agree with you, man. Jeremy Sanders just said that in chat. We're gonna flip one of them. Man, maybe we flip 2. I don't know. I feel like 1 is good for me. You know, and Mike G, these other fan bases are going to be in for a surprise when Bama's still a dynasty. I agree with you. I really do. I think a lot of people are kind of writing them off a little bit, but also now there's this weird, and they're feeling it, this weird energy in the air, right? Just crazy, man. Like they know that this energy is there. They know that there's something going down in Alabama. Like University of Alabama, everyone thought they were going to drop off. Man, I don't think so. And they all feel it, man. And it is exciting. You have to be stoked. You have to be excited. There is something there in the air, right? And you are. Like Moonrock, you said it. You know, everybody, everybody is so excited, and they're all the eyes are all there for a reason. They're like, whoa, time out. Alabama just had the greatest coach of all time. Is it possible that they also just grabbed another coach who can load them up, right, and bring in even more energy to a program that is already phenomenal and legendary? I mean, think about that. That is wild. These guys are ready to go. I'm excited for it. I'm excited to hear what these players have to say going into competition. And like I said, I'm excited just to see the competition because I think it's going to be off the charts. And I'm excited for the recruits to see it, man. You know, these coaches are out there recruiting like hard. Like so there was something just released where Robinson, one of our new linebacker coaches, right, that came over. He's out there recruiting from Baylor. He just retweeted something regarding an offer to a Studley linebacker. You know who I'm impressed with? I'm really impressed with. That's already like getting on it is Coach Cap, the new offensive line coach. Supposedly, right, this guy's like a heralded recruiter, and I believe it. I mean, he brought in some dudes at Michigan State for that offensive line that paved the way for Walker III, who's now the running back at Seattle Seahawks, right? And man, dude, I'm excited. They talked about his recruiting and being good. I think this guy with Coach Cap, right, as a recruiter, this guy, man, I think he's on to something. Within the last, I think 24, 48 hours, he's already sending out his tweets about, hey, just got this guy offered, right? Or I just got an offer from Alabama, and he's retweeting these 4 or 5-star offensive tackles, interior offensive linemen, retweeting that they're excited about Alabama and getting that offer. There's also something where one of the big, I don't know if he's a 5-star or 4-star, but there's a tackle out there that goes, hey man, Coach Cap, had a good conversation with him. He reached out to me right away. Dude, this guy, Coach Cap, I'll tell you what, man. He's on it. That guy brings it, man. He brings it. I've heard he brings it. And like I said, you guys want the scoop on that stuff? You guys really want to hear my opinions on that too? Tell you this. This is why I said become a fan funder, because like I said, me and Ty Hayes from Roundtable Sports, we did a combined video today that we'll be releasing. All right, they're going to release it here at Bama Football on YouTube, but only for fan funders. In that video, we went in depth on the offensive line. We talked about a lot in regards to Washington's scheme, and we talked a lot about Coach Cap and what he brings. And I'll tell you what, you guys go watch that. You're going to be excited. You're going to be excited. The question mark of offensive line that you might get, there's a little worry here and there. I don't think you're going to be worried that much anymore. Go watch that exclusive fan funder video. Become a fan funder. Go watch it. Like I said, hyperlink. You can see it rolling across the bottom of the screen, right? Hit that hyperlink and become one. I'll tell you, there's some good stuff, okay? In Jay Townsend, you just brought up a great point, man. There's really no conversation about college football that doesn't include Alabama. Man, dude, that is the truth right now. I mean, we could say that's always kind of been the case, right? But I mean, everyone just kind of got used to the winning. It feels like, everyone just got used to Alabama just dominating, which is wild and cool and fun and awesome. But then, Alabama runs into some adversity and everybody's like, hell yeah. That's whoa, time out. Time out. You think this is negative adversity? This is not negative adversity. Adversity is what people grow with. Well, adversity also helps programs and businesses grow too when faced the right way with the right people. Okay. With the right leaders in place. Adversity will help someone get to where they want to be next as a person, as a dad, as a mom, right? As an athlete, as an employee, but it also does it with a business and a program, especially a program when faced with the right mental attitude, right? And with the right people in place to face it from a program and business standpoint. You got the right leader in place. Guess what, man? You are elevating. You are elevating. I think, and I'll tell you right now, the right leader is in place. You elevate, right? You are going to elevate. There is adversity. Everyone's like, this adversity is not good. This is not good for Alabama. It goes back to that article I was talking about, saying like that Saban around is like a negative thing. Like, whoa. Time out. Oh, man. Dude, I'll tell you what. Please keep bringing that. Keep bringing that negative energy this way. I want it. You know why? Because I'm going to just build it up and take that Dragon Ball Z your ass. I tell you, I'm just going to hold onto it and blow it back at you, man. When we step on the field, when you see these players step on the field, and I'll tell you this, you're going to see it in the way these coaches handle it, in the way they go about their business. You're going to see it in the energy. That's why you're hearing it right now. That's exactly what Womack was saying. And you're right, Wendy. Belt to ass. For sure. You know, thank you, Coach Sean, for that amazing B2A. I love it. Like 100%. Like in the end of the day, I mean, that's what you're going to see, man. Is that is the sort of energy, right, that people grab, hold on to. You pull it all in, you charge up, and then you boom, you drop that hammer. And when we're going to see it, and that goes back to Womack's comment. Just work. This isn't about anything else anymore. We're going to come out here and we're just going to work. We're going to make it happen. We are winners. We are champions. There's a standard. We hold the standard. That's right, Jeremy Sanders. Goku with that spirit bomb, man. Like I tell you, man. Like it's funny. It's so funny, right? What's that Netflix show that just came out, right? With that dude, what was it, Airbender or whatever it is, right? Airbender. Did you guys see that? Did you see who it was who did kind of their own promo with it, man? One of our players did that. It was cool as hell, but it's kind of funny. It's kind of ironic too. There's like a reason for it, right? Avatar. It's right, Moon Rocket. It was Avatar out on Netflix. And that's that dude where he takes the elements of energy, right, to create this like power. And that negative energy is all being pulled in right now in Alabama. So, yeah, and I love that, man. It was Campbell, man. Interesting and ironic, right? Now, I don't think not a lot of people have put the 2 and 2 together yet. Okay. So we're absorbing the negative energy, man. We're absorbing, okay? I love it, man. And Gula Cat, I see you in here. Coach Smook, he's definitely appreciated that. Coach Smook, we're more than excited to have you and family back in Bama. Gula Cat, 100%. I know he's excited, and thank you for that very much. And I know he's going to be on the road soon. So, I love it. I love it. And jumping back into it, so we go back and we start talking about this whole thing of these recruits and Juju Lewis who's coming to visit. But he's not the only one. Juju is not the only recruit coming to visit. There is a giant list of guys coming in March. And it's funny because Ty Hayes touched on this in his segment earlier today, which, like I said, go back and watch them when we get done this evening. Ty Hayes touched on this stuff in the guys coming, in that we thought, like, earlier in the year that some of the recruiting news and the guys showing up was good news. Well, it's even like they're about to go off because of the guys showing up now and who want to come see what's going on here. You know what I mean? It's like everyone sees this thing falling out of the sky into the earth, right? And everybody around is like, "Did you see that? What is that? What just hit over there?" Now all these recruits are doing the same thing. There's something big hit over there. What was that? what is this over here? What's going on? There's something going on. And Coin God, you just brought this up, man. And you know, for all you guys, I know you guys all want to jump on Coin God. I like Coin God. You know, I like him. He does good when I'm on, so I appreciate him a lot. But Justice Terry, interesting with that. And with that being said, on Justice Terry, we can jump straight into the news today with Dell McGee leaving Georgia's running back coach, stud recruiter. He's a good recruiter, really good, man. Yeah, I'll tell you, man, Dell McGee, he takes off, right? He takes off, and he's now head coach at Georgia State, right? Yep, he's at Georgia State. And man, that's a big loss for Georgia. A big loss. That guy's connected to so many people as far as what he does from a recruiting standpoint. Like, that's big. That's something to think about, because, you know, how does this affect some of the recruits in their class now who are being touched by him within the recruiting process? Justice Terry is one of them. D lineman, absolute stud. Dude, he's a beast, man. Like, whoa. And that's it. Jermaine Mims. What's up, dog? I love it. But no one is talking about Georgia losing 2 recruiters. You're right, man. It's not being talked about that much. It's kind of like blown off. That can't be that can't be necessarily a good sign for a program when no one's really talking about like losses that you're taking. And the reason, I know that sounds weird, right? Everyone's like, whoa. What do you mean that's not a good sign? That's just, I feel like that should be something good because no one's worried about it. No, what it means is that they don't got that much attention. Why is it then that Alabama, you know, the Crimson Tide has all this attention? It's because I think people are actually like these other teams and what's going on, they're worried. Not only, again, I'm going to get into this deep with Saban still being around, okay? But not only are they worried from a standpoint that like Alabama, right, is you know, just this mecca of football, but they're worried now that like, Coach Saban is still within grasp and within reach and is still locked arms here in the program. And he's locked arms with a coach who brings the new wave, the new idea, this new thought process, yet still keeps everything that's foundational and amazing about University of Alabama football in place, but is able to put his touch on it. I talked about this earlier today. You know, like I just, man, it's got to feel good. I mean, it's crazy though, but it is, isn't it? Like, shoot, why do we got to hear? Why don't nobody hear about anybody else? But yet, if something happens to Alabama, like, look at this. This is a great one. You know, like it's been highlighted all over today. Like Paul Constantine, okay, he's taken off to Atlanta Falcons, and it's all over the place. People talking about it, right? And he's great, man. He's great. He was doing some really good stuff with us. He came in 2020 with Scott Cochran. So I'll tell you, man, and yeah, that's true. That's true. Coin God, that Kane Womack and Saban been having these meetings. Holy smokes, that's got to be scary for anybody out there who's thinking about like Alabama having any sort of defensive drop off. There's no, can you imagine? So I talked about this today, and I keep going into this because this is a passionate subject for me. And I love defense. I just freaking love defense, man. But I'll tell you, like, you think about this. You have Kane Womack, okay? Kane Womack, right? Who is this dude who's been sitting around watching for years since he was a little kid, wanting to be a coach, watching his dad run this defense. Kane sits around, he plans his own like version of it, and he continues to perfect it and perfect it and perfect it. Okay. And as he's perfecting it over the years, he gets to jump around to some different programs, does his GA at Ole Miss as a linebackers coach while his dad's coaching, while his dad's a D coordinator, right? Under Hugh Freeze over at Ole Miss during that time frame. Okay. And then from there, he finally gets this opportunity to go prove himself. Man, you want to talk about pressure. Your dad is a legend. Right? In the SEC, just from what he's done. But now you want to go and take this and perfect it yourself. And he does it, man. He does it. He does it everywhere he goes. And now he gets to meet with the GOAT, not only in coaching, but you got this defensive mind in Saban sitting there with you. And you guys are finding new ways to make this 4-2-5 swarm D even better. Holy smokes, with like some of the best athletes in college football. Oh my God. Whoa. I mean, that is some serious excitement, right? And I did hear that meeting was going on. And Jay, you brought up a good point. Jake, you stole my thunder. I was going to ask how that would affect Georgia's recruits that he brought in. That's with McGee leaving, the running backs coach. He's been there a long time. He's known for his recruiting. A lot of people bring up just how phenomenal he is. We went through a list, and I think me and Ty Hayes earlier today, when we were transitioning segments, we went through a list of and looking at all the recruits he's brought in especially over time. I mean, the guy he's an amazing recruiter, and I give him all the props, and I do wish him success at Georgia State. I hope the best for him. But man, he's bouncing now. So how does that affect the recruiting class of 2025? I mean, we'll see what happens. You can already see it with one major dude in Justice Terry. Like that guy, woo, man, that dude is going to look, he's going to be a stud. And I feel really good about you can see it in some of these guys' comments, right? Like when they're going through and they're talking to reporters and whatnot. And I got to give a lot of props to these guys now doing the coverages on teams. It's gotten just so much better from a recruiting standpoint, right? With 247 Sports doing a great job, and that's Bama 247, and then Bama Online through On3. They just do a really good job of really not necessarily like pressuring recruits, but doing a really good job of getting the details when they do interview them. And I give them a lot of props. You know, it's cool. That wasn't always the case, and I can remember that when I was being recruited a long time ago. So that was a little difficult. But I'll tell you, man, like you can see it in these guys' comments, just how this lean is towards Bama. There's just something about it, right? So that's pretty exciting, right? I absolutely, man, I'm excited for that. So we talked about Juju Lewis. He's coming on that visit along with a list of other guys. There's a huge list. Very excited for that. There's some cool call-ins earlier today. I'll tell you, Free Mike from the Austin Penitentiary called in. He was great, man. He was great. Free Mike was saying earlier today when he called in, he really thought of like Justin Haynes for Heisman. He called it out. Hey, I like, man, if you guys seen Justice Haynes workout videos lately, Justice has been hitting it. He looks really good. He looks explosive. I mean, that dude, his footwork, he is fast and powerful. Love that. I am all about that, man. I think that guy is going to have a killer year. And honestly, within three of our running backs with Richard Young, right, and with Jam, I think, man, like all three of them, it's gonna look good, man. It's going to look good. Like that backfield is going to share some carries. We'll have our feature back, but we also will have just kind of running back by committee style, I believe, just based on what I've seen previously at University of Washington. So it's going to be fun to watch these guys and what they do with their opportunities and who really separates themselves from the pack, right? That's what's exciting there. I love that. That's probably one position group that's just going to be lights out to watch as we go into spring and into fall ball. Okay. And then it was cool as we had, I like this call earlier today with Kyle was Jim Castleberry from Jim from Castleberry, right? Alabama. And Jim called, he made an interesting point on this. And this was really good. Jim said, a way for the program to make some money, right, was back, they did a CD a while back, right? Alabama Football Legends Reunion, where they kind of talked about how these legends came about, okay, in the reunions, which was in this reunion, and talked about how like just stories, and he said it was really enjoyable to listen to, and he thought, man, that would be a good idea to bring that back. Okay, I love it. I think that's really, really good, man. I absolutely, man, I think that's a great idea as far as, doing something with Alabama legends where you can hear about how the history and some of the stories have played out and how they came about, like truthfully, and not just speculate. Right. And I think that's awesome. I think that would be a great way for the university to make some money. Okay. I think it's really good. We also kind of heard that Eli Gold is doing indoor football announcing. Interesting on that. Okay, good for him. Wish him the best. Really enjoyed him. I think he was here 36 years. Absolutely was the voice for so long of Alabama football. And I wish him the best. Okay. You know, I like that. Then yeah, like I said, you had Coach Sean. He talked about the best tandem in college football. That was phenomenal, right? Absolutely great. And the best linebacker tandem, and he says 30 times and by 32. That's what it was. It's 30 by 32 on that subject. And that was great, man. That was really, really good. And that was just talking about Campbell and Lawson, just being the best linebacker tandem in the NCAA, in the football world this upcoming season, and how they kind of fed off of each other's energy. I love that. I think it's great. That was so cool. And again, go back and listen to Coach Sean talk about that. That was phenomenal. Absolutely thought that was so good. Talked about Ryan Williams getting in the rotation for sure. And then again, like Saban and DeBoer, which we'll jump into here, and just kind of the help in the contact and how he impacts everybody around, right? In a positive way. And so that was really good. And then with Ty, right? With Ty, we talked about, just the week in review, just all the different things that had gone down, and the highs, lows, and what's interesting and intriguing. Ty also talks about, like, again, this March recruiting class, this March recruiting visits are going to be huge. I think we're going to see a lot of positive things come out of that. I really do. I think it's cool when the recruits get a chance to get on campus and feel the energy of the coaches. That is such a big deal. You know what I mean? Like guys get to feel that energy and they absolutely love it. Right. And that is huge. And so, and then, he talks about spring ball and some names that stand out. So make sure you go back and check those guys out. Pretty interesting. Again, we also saw in the news today with Paul Constantine leaving the Atlanta Falcons. It makes sense now why they brought in the new guy. And I wish Paul the best. He did some applied sciences here through the football program. And again, he worked with Scott Cochran since 2020. And he did an awesome job here. But what's cool, man, is from that standpoint is they bring in Zach Mathers. Man, Zach Mathers is an interesting one for you guys who haven't seen that kind of the information on Zach. And I'll tell you this, Zach, on his side, right? He comes from Sanford, okay, and he kind of fills into that role. I think where you see Constantine take off, but Zach has he's heralded like nationwide for like his cutting edge work, where he implements information from data into like tangible results. I think he's going to be good. He's also been like heralded for his unprecedented approach. So I think that's pretty cool, man. Like I'm all about that, and I love it. I absolutely love that. So, there's just so much stuff going on, and we obviously see, talking about the expansion again with the playoffs, which you heard earlier. So I love it. But let's get into this real quick with Saban, and is it good or bad, and going back to that, because this is interesting. As the article said, that Saban, it could be a hindrance because maybe DeBoer doesn't do DeBoer's way of things. Whoa, like time out. That is not cool. Because to say that you sit there and think DeBoer maybe could potentially fail because Saban's around and that he wants to do too much of what Saban did, man, that's just the wrong way to go about it, right? And that's not even close to what's going on. You just see the fact that with Saban, what's beautiful is that he's here. He's definitely impacting the guys. He wants to help and be there for the players, but he's also, and the biggest thing and biggest resource is he's here for Kalen DeBoer. And you give props to Kalen DeBoer because he's the man. He's the man when it comes to this thought process, right? Of sitting there saying, "Hey, man, like I'm the next man up. I'm down to follow you. I'm confident in myself, and I'm doing it my style. But I want to know what you did to be successful, and I also want to keep that in place." What was important to you to keep in place, Coach Saban? What was important to you? Because if we can keep it in place, right, and I can implement my style, then we're going to win, and we're going to win big. And I'm excited for that. And I'm excited for Coach KD to really take on his style of it, implement it onto the program, and build and add, right? And I did a comparison earlier. It's like you got to move into this cool, sweet house, right? And in that house, all these things are already kind of done for you and set up. Well, Coach KD gets to come in and kind of make it his own way. And that's what I'm excited about, you know. To say that Saban's there to look over, and Jay, I see your comment, my friend. To say that Saban's there to look over KD's shoulder, what? No. And it's almost like they just want to put that heat out there. You like you said, it's rat poison. That's the Saban saying. It's rat poison. The heat it's just put out there just to kind of stir the pot, or as Dan Lanning says, for clicks. So I don't know, man. I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that at all. There's a lot of respect for Saban and what he does. We can already see it in his touch and what he wants to do with that with football. Saban made a great point in another article that talks about college football and just how it's just kind of being just demolished with this NIL stuff. And you look at it and you got to ask yourself, like, dang, this is having a really difficult time. Like, this NIL stuff is hard to deal with. Okay. And I'll tell you, man, like, when it comes down to it with the NIL, Saban made a great point. We're reaching a point where with the NIL, and players just bouncing, that the NIL commitment has to be maybe through a contract, and we have to put it in place. With what just happened with the ruling on Tennessee versus NCAA, okay, and that ruling, I think what we're going to see, and this was brought up by On3, and it was a really good article, and they talked about this a little bit, but the ruling you're going to see is maybe these universities truly just cutting out the middleman. So no longer do you have a collective, right? No longer is that collective the one that pays the players, that maybe we directly see it through the university. You know what I mean? And I would respect that. But if we do that, then we would need to make sure these contract is in place for players to stay, almost very similar to the NFL. What's interesting with that is it jumps to some other news of Courtney Morgan being announced officially as the football team's general manager. Do you get the term there, general manager? That's an interesting one there. Why is that label? I don't think I've seen that label maybe here and there. I don't know how long it's been going on, but it doesn't feel like it's been going on long. So this general manager label, right? Is that the direction that everyone already sees it going on? So are you running it similar to like an NFL team, right? Where you got your manager on this side and you got your head coach on this side, right? And they work together in tandem. And I'm good with that. Like if that's the case, you're going to run that style, because I don't think there's any way to go backwards, right? And 100, like, NIL makes it harder, but 12-team playoffs make it easier. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see with the 12-team playoff. They're already talking about expanding it even potentially to 14 and then 16, with the playoffs. Like that's going to, I mean, I agree. And I made a point that there's no other coach I'd rather have in the playoffs than Kalen DeBoer. He's used to it. That's what he did, and that's how he won, all his championships over at Sioux Falls when he first started coaching college and becoming a head coach. And Moonrocker, I believe we had a general manager last year too, but I remember thinking, when the hell did that happen? Well, 100. I think that's where it's at. And James Daniel, what's going on, man? Like, that's the thing is I think it's been something very recent in college football with this general manager title, because I think it used to be like a director of operations or like personnel or something. I know there's a director of player personnel, but it was another title. So it's interesting they moved the title now to a general manager, right? Like it's like, okay, are we going this kind of NFL route? Like, is there any contracts in place? How is this going to work? So that way we cutting out again these collectives and we go straight to the university and paying players, because truthfully, instead of having to go reach out to these donators, right, and the people donating, like all of us, just the fans, instead, the university just directly handles it, and that would be very transparent about it. Like, let's stop doing things behind the back of everybody or behind closed doors. Just be transparent and let's see it for what it is. So that way, we can respect it a little better. And you guys, from the standpoint of these people in the NCAA or in the offices or our leadership, can finally maybe do it in the right manner. Okay, instead of like the sneaky way. All right, I'm not down with the sneaky way. So it's interesting. Saban, there's a great article. Is he going to now take this role as maybe the head dog of the NCAA football? We could see that. Could that happen? The commissioner of college football. I could see it, man. I could see it, and it's almost kind of getting hinted that way, right? In a weird way, the way kind of the interviews are going, it's almost getting hinted that way. So. And that's what's interesting with what's going on. And he has said, I want to be there for college football to make sure it doesn't, fall apart, which hence it feels like in a little bit, that's what's happening, man. And Kimberly, what's going on, Kimberly? I appreciate that. She says, lit stream. Appreciate that. And so we'll see, this is an interesting thing. And I would love to see Saban in that maybe commissioner spot, because I think he has a lot of respect for college football. Obviously he loves it. It's not, everyone's like, well, it's not going to be fair because he's going to play favoritism towards University of Alabama. Whoa, time out. He's not playing favoritism towards anybody. The guy loves, right? He loves football. Listen to his story. Listen to the way he grew up. Listen to his dad, right? Or stories about his dad coaching him and how much he enjoyed football growing up. And then look at his coaching career and everywhere he's been. He has a lot of talk, right? About just the sport in general and his appreciation for it. And you have to say there's a lot to enjoy about Saban and this thought process and his cool, calm, collective kind of talk around football and what to do if we run into problems, And I like that, man. I'm all about that. And I know Mike G said, is he allowed to work for ESPN and coach Bama? Conflict, maybe. I don't think Mike, he's in any sort of coaching role. Saban is not in a coaching role. I think he's more of like an advisor in a way. He has an office. It's interesting, and I see what you're saying. If he's advising Womack, he's showing favorites. Do you think? I don't know. I don't know if you're showing favorites. I'm sure there's a lot of people reaching out to him. I think we're just seeing the articles about like Womack and him talking is because that's what coaches do. There's a great article just the other day that talked about Shane Beamer. Did you guys all see that? Shane Beamer was scheduling to go meet with Kalen DeBoer in Seattle prior to KD taking the job at Bama, because you know what he said? The guy wins and wins at a high rate. I have mass respect for Shane Beamer, head coach of South Carolina, right? Because I'll tell you, man, that is impressive. Okay, impressive at the fact that he's willing to come out there, fellow SEC coach now. Okay, I'll tell you, it's cool to see something where you see this guy, this other coach says, man, this dude is willing to go to Seattle prior, obviously, to him coming to Bama. And he says it in the article, he talks about it, but he's willing to go because he sees how this winning style, that's what I'm trying to say to everybody. That's why we're feeling the energy and everybody's watching us. And Shane and Beamer just confirmed it for everyone in the SEC, basically, and honestly in college football, is that they see how the way that DeBoer is winning and winning very quickly. And they're going, oh my God, do you see this coach and the way he's winning? And now you have a fellow SEC coach who basically just admitted he wanted to go meet with Alabama's new head coach while he's at Washington, right? To say, hey, I want to learn. I want to pick his brain because he is so smart. And I just see these things that are going on and there's a lot of success there. And I want to kind of learn from that. Man, that is a lot of respect to you, Coach Beamer. A lot of respect. Because that's cool. I don't know a lot of other coaches who would straight up come out and say that after he's been hired at University of Alabama. Think about that. A lot of respect, man. And Caleb Taylor, is Tyler Watts going to help Chris Stewart, Merrill? Caleb, give me a little more context with that question, and I'll try to answer it for you. Like, for sure, Tyler Watts going to help Chris Stewart, or somebody give me some more context to that. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's having a coaching clinic. Yeah, I'll see you there, Shane. I'll be there too, man. I'll be at the coaching clinic too. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just want to jump into some of that topic with Saban and DeBoer. It's such an interesting one. And Moonrocker, that's a good point, man. I've never heard a coach say anything like that. I haven't either, especially like a coach, I guess, from a standpoint of saying, like, hey, this is a team you will face in the SEC. And again, he says these comments after the fact of him being hired at Alabama. After the fact. After. I have to highlight that because that is so huge. That there's some major respect there, and I applaud Beamer for saying that. There's not a lot of coaches in the same conference, let alone the SEC, who would admit that they see the way KD wins and wins as effectively as he does, and would then want to come and want to sit down and just learn from him, especially considering like KD, right? He's new to he's almost in a way he's new to the scene. You know what I mean? He's new to this view. He's new to that. That's where it's impressive. Okay, it's one thing if you've won multiple. You know, your Coach Saban and coaches want to come talk with you. That happened all the time, right? That hasn't changed. But you're doing it with a coach because you see it too, and like I said, you're basically confirming it for everybody else. Huge, man, huge. And I hope I got to that comment by Caleb Taylor. Caleb Taylor. If anybody understood that or could help me like get more context to that, that'd be great, and I'll answer it. So, but that's big, man. A lot of respect there, man. I tell you, like, that's wow. Is Tyler Watts going to do color commentary with Stewart on the radio? Oh, I got you, Caleb. All right, thanks, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know there. That's an interesting one. I don't know the depth on that. I could see maybe. We'll see what happens. I haven't heard much on that side. It's just mainly with Stewart from a standpoint of taking over, and some people are really excited, some people aren't. Some people are like, well, he's not there yet. He doesn't have the voice for it yet. I don't know. I think Stewart's going to do fine. For me, I think it's going to be just exciting. And maybe just bring some new energy, and Jay Kelly says, Caleb, I'm sure he is. Yeah, I would imagine if you guys kind of feel that way and kind of see that, I would imagine so. So, but yeah, so, I mean, again, that's pretty, man, that is lit to hear, regarding this wildness of, the coaching aspect and just the respect and what's being seen by, Coach KD. So, with that being said, we do have 2024 class awards. It's a bummer not more people are watching for this one, because this one's going to be interesting. I think you guys will like it. I want to hear you guys' take on it. And I got the questions for you too, right? So, but we're going to dig into this. I want you guys to, it's just freshmen only. Okay. Just freshmen only. We're not doing the transfers. But we're just doing freshmen only. So here we go. 2024 class awards, everybody. Who gets, and I'll hear you guys' opinion first, the leadership award. Who gets the leadership award for 2024 freshman only class awards? Who would get the leadership award? And Sean, you have a great night too, my friend. I get that, man. Hey, I respect you, man. Make sure you guys always keep those kids first and do your thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's important to be a dad for sure. So respect, man. Mbakwe. Coin guy says Mbakwe. I like it. Anybody else got one? Mbakwe, yeah. Marquita, 100. So, yeah, I'll tell you, like, that's where I go with this is in Carla, same thing. Oh, okay. And then we got Mike G with Caleb Odom. All right. And Moonrock, Mbakwe already won it. Yeah. No, I kind of figured we go that route. But I'll tell you, like, I think for the leadership award, who I would award 100% is Jalen Mbakwe. Just based on what everybody has said, his highly involvement in the recruitment of Williams, Ryan Williams, pretty huge. I love that. I think this guy is kind of that voice of the class right now. I think he is the one. No problem, Taylor. No problem, Caleb. I hope you have a great evening, man. Unless you're still tuning in, brother. But yeah, Mbakwe would be the guy I would select for that leadership award for this whole class of 2024. Okay, the next one's going to be who's the fan favorite. Yeah, 100%. Who's the fan favorite? Okay, who is the fan favorite? And I actually have two for this one. I selected two for the fan favorite. For who gets this award for the fan favorite for this class. Okay, we got Ryan Williams, Mike G, Brian Russell Mbakwe won. Williams and Carla Bailey. I like that. Ryan Williams, Jay Kelly, Hollywood, Matt Flowers, Noah Carter, Coin God had that one. Ryan and Noah, Brian Russell. Okay, yeah, I like it, man. So I'll tell you right now, that's the route I was going, y'all. I went with Williams and Noah Carter for sure. I think Ryan Williams is big. Brian Russell or Ronco. Yeah, I like him. I do. I really do. What's funny is when you go through and you look at this class, it's actually a lot harder to pick some of these answers than I thought. I thought I would be able to fly through this. I had to really think about it, man. I had to look over because there's a lot of names we don't talk about in this 2024 recruiting class coming in, man. There's a lot of names that are not mentioned that just don't get as much attention who are still studs, absolute studs. So for me, that's where I would have gone with. I would have said it's an amazing class, Carla. I agree with you. So I went with fan favorites are going to be Ryan Williams and Noah Carter for sure. I think everyone was really high on Noah Carter, especially after watching his video and seeing him in general just really go off. And he's an amazing athlete, right? And he is going to continue to just develop and really excel in his defense. And it's going to be fun to watch, man. So, and Mike G, Jay Lindsay, a 3-star tight end out of Butler. Jay Lindsay, I like Jay Lindsay a lot. There's just a lot of guys in here. Man, we just do not get to highlight as much when you're talking about the recruits for 2024 recruiting class. There's so many. There's so many, and as you look through, you start to be like, whoa, geez. So then that's where I asked the next question: who are the under the radar recruits? I guess under the radar. I pick two of them for this recruiting class. Who gets the under the radar award? Like these are the guys, who are going to come up. They're going to make plays. They're going to be studs. Who gets under the radar award? Right. Bubba Hampton. I like that. Coin God. That's a good one. Yeah, Marquita Kirkpatrick. That's a hell of an answer right there. 100%. And this was one of these ones, man, where you're going through and you're trying to watch and go through this list and be like, who is it? Steven Angle, Mincy. I think Mincy has a little more notoriety to his name, though. I mean, not a bad one. Beeman. I like that. Rick Stat Beeman. Okay. Man, that's geez, right? Like there's so much, you look at these guys and I mean, yeah, Jeremiah Beeman, man, like, whoo, there's a good chunk of them. Matt Farms, Jam Miller. So Hampton, Zay Mincy, Woodyard, yeah. I mean, you got some names. So here's what I went with. And I went with under the radar from a thought process of like the guys of saying, okay, who is it? Who are these guys who maybe didn't get the attention that maybe they should have? Were maybe not ranked as high, and where I went with in this one, right? Because I didn't necessarily look at the guys ranked higher on this. I did look at names in there and want to say who maybe isn't talked about as much. But after watching film, where I really was at Quentin Reese, okay, and Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. And Rick Stapp, Caden Jones. I mean, his film. I liked his film too. He was a hard one not to pick. I'll tell you, Caden Jones is a hard one. But it's definitely, in the end of the day, I feel really, really good about Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. And then QB Reese, man. I really like QB Reese. I think that guy just didn't camp a whole lot, and that's probably why. So the QB Reese would be one that I think from an under the radar standpoint. I think these other guys did have a little bit of notoriety, but between Kirkpatrick and QB Reese, not a lot of people gave them credit. And Daniel Hill is a stud, 100%. But I think everyone knows he's a stud. So who are the guys that we grabbed that are under the radar who could make an impact? So this one's the next another good one. Who's the first one to see the field? I said, give me 2 on defense, 2 on offense. The first ones to see the field, 2 on defense, 2 on offense. Out of these recruiting, this freshman recruiting class, that's, man, you know what I mean? These, yeah, in JK, I think they probably will redshirt, but we're saying under the radar, they're going to be talented, kind of long term, right? It's just like sleepers. We're going to see them though eventually. Okay, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like it's so easy to forget so many of these players. That's the idea of this. Okay, so first to see the field, we got Xavier Brown out there. We got Caleb Odom and Bakwe. Interesting. Okay, I like that. I like Xavier Brown. You know, there's some good ones, man. Like that's one of the keys in these. So Xavier Brown, Woodyard, and Bakwe. Okay, sorry guys. Man, I gotta get that to zone back in, so I'm not so blurry. Williams and Hampton. Okay, I like it. So for me, what I liked, I'll tell you right now, is for defense, I picked Xavier Brown and Zay Mincy, just because of that secondary. You'll probably see those guys a lot quicker, right? That's kind of my thought process on that. And then on the offensive side, Jay Kelly said Williams. So this is one that was difficult, right? And I'll tell you right now, for me, from this one was I actually picked Caleb Odom for the offense and Casey Poe. I think he's going to compete, and I think we're going to see some movement on the offensive line. Again, if you're not a fan funder, that's why you should be one. So you can go enjoy that video that comes out with me and Ty Hayes talking about this offensive line and why we're so excited about it in the movement. All right, 100%. 100%. So that would be something where I would really pay attention to. So Casey Poe, you guys, he's a stud. But there are a ton of guys on here who I think in competition could potentially see the field. Just heads up. There's so many guys in here this was a don't get me wrong, Moonrocker. I'm not picking Casey Poe over Ryan Williams. Believe me, I think Williams will see the field too. I could probably make that list like 10, 12 strong on who could see the field. Truthfully, we really could. But I think who sees the field pretty quick, I think there is, with Poe, right? Like with Poe's an interesting one just because of the aspect. And we don't talk about offensive linemen that much, you know? And Ionata might surprise. I agree, Rick Sapp. Like, man, Poe is one of those guys, right? For me, at least, we're just like, dang, who is going to be the dude? And you got guys all over the place, like Sterling Dixon, Bubba Hampton. I mean, you got all these dudes. Matt Farms is listed out a bunch of guys. Kirk Jr., Henderson, Brockmeyer, Hampton. Hey, they're all there, man. We're talking about the freshmen here, but there's just so many guys. Okay, so many dudes to look at. Poe at tackle. I don't think he's. Yeah, man. I would say no. I think he's more of a guard. He's definitely an interior guy, just from that standpoint. Like I said, you kind of hear it. Like, be a fan funder. Go check out the video that will be posted hopefully within the next few days. All right, but that's what I'm trying to tell you guys is we're loaded. So here's the question that I leave, and this is what we'll end with the day on. Okay, is on this question: MVP of defense, MVP of offense. What do you guys have? What do you guys have for me? And I have not answered this yet myself. This was very, very difficult. Okay. And this is the question we'll end our evening on, everybody. But who is from this recruiting class of 2024 recruiting class, freshman only, who is your MVP for defense, MVP for offense? Who is it? Who are they? I looked through this all over. Okay. 100%. I dug into this. I really want to see. I keep going back and I'm looking nonstop. Not because there are studs on both sides of the ball. This recruiting class is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And it is so hard to pick this. This was one of the hardest ones for me to pick. So yeah, MVP, meaning these guys, man, these are your dudes. These are the dudes who, we could see be some of the best players, right, within this class. And that is a broad one because we could list off so many. But who would you pick right now from a standpoint of just freshmen only, not your transfer portal guys, freshman class only? Okay. Who are your MVPs, right? For the freshman recruiting class, who are your MVPs? That's who it is. One on offense, one on defense. Who is it? Man, it's one of the hardest questions I've tried to answer all day before coming on with you guys tonight. I've seen Xavier Brown. We've seen Williams. Man, we've seen Rico Scott, Noah Carter and Williams. Brown is a future shutdown corner, man. That Brown is a shutdown corner right now. I'll tell you that. If you go listen to me talk about him earlier today, I talked a lot about him earlier today. You're right, man. Mbakwe Williams, but dang, then you got Odom. Like this is one of the hardest questions. I don't know truthfully if I could just single one dude out. This is and if any players ever jump on here and watch, this is not any disrespect to any of you guys, because every single one of you guys is phenomenal and you all bring different things. And so that's the hard part about this, selecting one dude on offense and one dude on defense. And this is where your mind starts to realize, like, holy crap, this what we have here is insane. Absolutely insane. So John Lee, Williams, and Brown. I've seen that combo a few times now. Like, you guys got to be just so excited to see these guys come in and perform and go off, and even going in the spring, but also going out. And don't sleep on Kevin Riley, Jermaine. 100%. This is what I'm talking about. Queen God Red Morgan, like he's a stud. I wouldn't say he'd be our MVP. I would say who's our downhill thumper. Who's going to lay the hammer? That's who brings that juice, man. That's where I would put. That's where I put Red Morgan, and Kimberly, Noah Carter MVP. I like that. I mean, Noah is a do-it-all guy. I will say that's what was most impressive about his tape. But then you also have to look at our defensive back room, and then you have to, put on this, right. And that's the thing where we come down to in the end. And Carla, you kind of hit it on the head. They're all going to be our MVPs because they came to Bama and missed all the rat poison. Bam. Man, I love it. Carla, because you're right. They did. This class came together. This class is going to be tight. This class is going to be winners. This class could potentially be one of the best, if not the best ever seen. That is how good they are. Truly, you look at these positions, you look at these guys, you look at what comes in this room. We are going to see this studly group, okay? I'll tell you, that's what's so exciting. I'm excited to get, I'm excited to see this group just form together. And that is my point exactly, is that on both sides of the ball, you can't pick one. It's impossible to do. And I want to end on that note because we should all be extremely excited to continue to see this success, to continue to see what Saban built be just continue to grow and continue to be amazing. You know what I mean? Like, that is what I'm trying to say. And there's some great guys that we are bringing in. There's some great coaching staff. And overall, there's just guys out there who are ready to go to work. And now we get to see it all. So that's where I leave it at. It's all about just work, right? And I'll tell you, I'm excited for this evening. And for this class to come together. And I'm excited to be here with you guys this evening. And thank you all very much. I'll say this for having me, right? And I am so blessed to join you guys here at Alabama football, right? And I have had so much fun. And I tell you, you guys have just been so awesome this evening. Bama football on YouTube, everybody. The coach has been great. Kyle and T been great. I hope you guys had a great day. Remember to thumbs up, subscribe, and become a fan funder. Check out those videos. You guys have a great evening. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me tonight with this late scoop, right? And the Merrill Report, everybody. A lot of fun. Bama football on YouTube. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Appreciate you guys very much. Roll Tide.